Fantastic Four. Is it a fair statement to say they finally did them justice on screen?
I would say so. That single movie was better than the previous three.
All combined, yes. Julia Garner as Galactus is Herald herself, the Silver Surfer Shalabal.
Absolutely.
She cooked the shit out of that motherfucker. Oh, man. She cooked like me on my Blackstone, dude. No lie. Kevin Feige claims that Marvel realized Kang wasn't big enough before the Johnathan Majors situation. And I give that a thumbs down because I think you're lying.
Some things I will accept.
Yeah.
Reed, Pascal, not it. But we're probably going to be stuck with him, so I'll get over it.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised how they portrayed her power set.
Yes.
It's about fucking
absolutely. And dude, we said probably a month or two ago that Sue would solo the rest of the Fantastic Four.
Absolutely.
And after watching this movie, we were right.
Yep.
We were right. I've said this several times. We are not here for your entertainment. We're here for our fucking own.
Absolutely.
But you just happen to be entertained by it too. Great. And if you're not, then why watch us? Yep. Or maybe you're a masochist. You like things that hurt, you know? Yep. So anyways,
I like that pain.
Let me stop for a second. James Gunn doesn't want us to compare things. So the first opinion here is going to be a comparison because I don't give a fuck what anybody wants us to do because we do what the fuck we want here.
That's right.
All right, number one. Fantastic Four First Steps was better than Superman. All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
What's up?
What's up, dude? We're back.
Yeah, so is the rain.
Yeah, the rain is back. We got some new additions here to the table.
Absolutely.
Those are open on the wide shut. Dude, we got so much shit.
Yeah.
Look at this. Fantastic Four dropped this past week, so we got some thoughts on that. Obviously, we're still on the Superman high a little bit, you know?
Or not.
You're not. Okay. But yeah, dude, so, guys, check out the table here. We got Shalabal in the house, little Silver Surfer. We got the Tesseract. We got the Fantastic Car. Somehow that's a popcorn bucket.
No, it's not.
No.
Dude, I'm not going to put nobody's going to put popcorn.
Hell no.
It'd be all greasy and shit. You know how impossible it would be to clean that out?
Yeah, imagine trying to wash that in your sink.
Right.
I don't think it's dishwasher safe.
Room smelling like popcorn and shit.
Yep, no. So we didn't get the popcorn in the bucket, but we got some new. We got the claws here. So, Adrian, if anybody pisses me off today, the fucking claws are coming out, okay?
Yeah, but
you be careful with these.
Victim.
Yeah, exactly. I'll keep them.
They'll be okay.
I'll keep them away from you.
There you go.
And you got an arc reactor there, dude. Check that shit out.
The heart of Tony.
Damn, Tony Stark in the house. So
we got some more stuff on the background here, right?
Cap shield, all kinds of shit, dude. You never know what you're going to get here at Only Comics. So, anyways, guys, thanks for joining us. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like, drop us some comments, and we have a hell of a show today. I did want to shout out, dude, there was, you ever heard the saying, death comes in threes?
No.
You ever heard that?
No.
Okay, well, I've heard it.
Actually, you're right, I have.
Okay.
But dude, it's been like 30 years since I heard that shit.
Okay, well, I'm bringing it back, Adrian. It's a throwback here on Only Comics. But 3 celebrities passed this week, which, one of them, Malcolm Jamal Warner, his fella from The Cosby Show.
Really?
Yes. He also was in Eddie and Malcolm, or Malcolm and Eddie. Remember that show in the 90s?
What was he, like 40-something?
54, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
where'd he die from?
So he was on a trip in Costa Rica, and he drowned. He was out there swimming, and I guess this beach had some crazy... rip currents or something. Right. I'm not an expert, but him and his buddy were swimming. He was down there with his family, pulled him out to shore, and I guess his friend survived, but unfortunately Malcolm was not at 54. He's down there with his wife and kids and stuff. So Yep. So sorry to hear that. Ozzy Osbourne, rock and roll legend, he passed this past week.
Damn, about time.
I mean, he was 76.
I don't want it to sound shitty, but damn, all the shit that he did in his life, you expected him to be out like 30 years ago.
I mean, my man made it to 76, bro.
Right.
And like you said, now I think really what got him it wasn't all the drugs and all the years being a rock and roll star.
Bronchitis or something.
No, he had Parkinson's. So 5 years ago, he announced he had Parkinson's. And then he did a farewell show just a few weeks ago.
Nice.
Yep. So he got his one last, tour in. I mean, dude, and he even in that, they were like wheeling him out in a chair just so he can get on stage and perform. Wow. So he got to experience what he loved most one more time, dude.
Exactly, dude. Go out the way you want to go out.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Wait a minute. So The next one, I kind of heard. I think I know who you're going to say.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right. He didn't quite make it to 76.
No, he did not.
But 71?
71. Yep. And let me tell you something, brother. It was Hulk Hogan, dude. Now, this one, you know, as a kid, Hulk Hogan was like my first big, like, one of the wrestlers, the wrestler that I loved watching as a kid. He's probably what got me into pro wrestling, which we talk probably more about on other stuff. And he is someone, you know, we talk on other stuff. We had a segment called Hidden Turd. Remember this?
Yep.
Where we literally would talk about some leader, something of our country that impacted, you know, the country positively. But a lot of times these folks have a dark side to them, right? Yeah. And Hulk Hogan is someone who is very polarizing because he made some racial comments a few years ago. And then he had a little haphazard, you know, apology. And it's hard because it doesn't take away from what he did in the ring for the sport, but him as a person, you're like, I don't know. So
this is why you should not 100% idolize anybody.
Right.
You know, you can pull things from people that inspire you.
Sure.
Leave the rest alone because you don't know. Like the guy with the pillow. Come on, Mr. Pillow.
The pillow guy. Not the pillow guy.
He had no business saying the book. Well, I mean, he can say whatever he wants to. He is a citizen.
Correct.
But, you know, your political shit and your business shit,
Yeah, so unfortunately, those comments didn't go over well, and he is and he's not looked at in the greatest light between, you know, among a lot of people. But again, it doesn't take away what he did for the sport of professional wrestling, and so and I mean, anyone who passes away feels sorry for their family. Yeah. So we you know, hate to hear that, but yeah, death came in threes this past week, dude.
Wow.
Yes, but you know what? We're not gonna end on a you know, sour note. We're gonna take this thing up today, Adrian, because we had a lot going on, and as comic book fans, someone said this like, you know, a handful of months ago, like, we're about to seriously eat as comic book fans.
Yes.
Like, and you know, we do these shows, we're gonna talk about what we like, what we did, and we're gonna have our critiques, but at the end of the day, think about the past few weeks, this July, right? We had Superman, which, I mean, I liked it more than you, but you enjoyed it, right? Is that fair to say?
I liked it.
Right? Like a positive, you know, a step in the right direction for the DCU.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks later, the MCU follows it up with a Fantastic Four, which we're going to get into our thoughts later. But is it a fair statement to say they finally did them justice on screen?
I would say so.
Okay.
The movie, the cast, not so much.
Not so much. But as the movie as a whole,
yeah, it's definitely better. That single movie was better than the previous three
all combined. Yes. So I mean, as a comic book fan, I mean, take away the critiques, the things we're living pretty good right now.
Yeah.
We got Peacemaker 2, season 2 dropping in a few weeks. Wonder Man later this year.
Yep.
And then, you know, a year from now, you got Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, Supergirl next summer. It's some stuff lined up that at least seems to be entertaining. So as a fan, we're eating.
Yeah. And aren't there going to be some shows dropping this year?
Yep.
And also, shouldn't we be probably looking forward to like Spider-Man and X-Men 97? Coming in this year?
I believe so. I think the second season of 97 drops next year. And then you're right, your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is either next year or year after.
Okay.
And I got some Spider-Man Brand New Day news too, because Kevin Feige, dude, he saw that James Gunn was talking, getting all his attention. He's like, yo, watch this. Or maybe just because it's the Fantastic Four week, you got San Diego Comic-Con, he decided to speak to the press a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm a little pissed off. You know why?
Why?
Were you at this press event?
I was not.
Do you think I was at this press event?
Since you were right next to me, probably not.
Do you think we should have been at this press event?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Unfucking believable. Here we are. We're decking out the studio in Marvel, DC. You know, we're not even Marvel shills anymore. We're just comic book shills.
Right.
And we can't even get a fucking mention. Unbelievable. I think
mother.
Anyways, so we're going to start with some Fantastic Four stuff. We're not going to do our deep dive right now. So those of you that have not seen the movie yet, don't worry. We're not going to spoil any plot points yet. We will get into spoiler city in a little bit, Adrian.
Yeah.
So you talked about the cast. So I figured we would just start right up. We're get right into it. We're going to do a little Did They Cook?
Let this man cook.
With Fantastic Four. So now you said the cast, is that your least favorite part of this movie?
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
All right. So this is going to be interesting then. So I have and those of you that have been with us before, the way Did They Cook works is I come up with 5 casting choices. from a movie, we're using Fantastic Four First Steps since it dropped this past week. I'm going to ask Adrian, in his opinion, if they cooked in these roles. So you cannot fucking say he's wrong because it's your opinion.
That's right.
You could say, I don't agree with it, right? You could write mean stuff about it. Guy knows nothing about nothing and he can't do a comic show. You could do that if you want, or you can just shut the fuck up and enjoy the ride. There's that. Don't be an ABC, Adrian. Yo, that's catching on, by the way.
Really?
Yep, I had some people already. Like, I'm starting using this, and if you don't know what an ABC is, stay tuned. We'll let you know in a little bit. So, all right, Adrian, are you ready?
Let's go.
Number 1, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Human Torch. Did my man cook?
No.
Damn. I disagree, by the way. And I'll let you know mine in between.
Sure.
And then as soon as we're done with this segment, I'm going to write a bad message about you online.
Hold on. So let me go back.
All right.
Did he cook as Johnny Storm? Yes.
Okay.
Is he the correct actor? No.
Okay. All right. So he did cook.
I'm gonna separate those two.
Got it. Okay. But
because the casting choices and whether they pulled it off or not, to me, is two different things.
True, because you could look the role and suck, right?
Exactly.
You could not look the part, which is that kind of what you're getting at with him?
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't look like you took Johnny Storm off the page of a comic book and threw it on the screen.
Correct.
Got it. But he did cook.
Correct.
Retract your previous statement.
I retract my previous statement.
And you have
I have a right to change my mind.
Exactly.
Anytime I want to.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Go to your shot again. That's a cool shot. You got the cap shield on your shirt and on the wall. Dude, you're capped out today,
That's
dude.
it, man.
Representing. All right. Number 2, Julia Gardner as Galactus's herald herself, the Silver Surfer Shalabal.
Absolutely.
She cooked the shit out of that motherfucker. Oh, man. She cooked like me on my Blackstone, dude. No lie. Number 3, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman.
She cooked.
She did, dude. Now, of all of them, did she surprise you the most?
No.
No.
You mean her as the actress,
or based off of where you were? Because when we first saw the trailers, we're like, how is she playing Sue Storm?
Right. Well, I still don't think she should be playing Sue Storm. Now, again, just because I wouldn't have chose those as the actors for these roles. I would not mind seeing them moving forward. Okay. Because they did cook.
So they cooked enough for you.
Yes.
All right. Number 4, Eben Moss Bachrach as Ben Grimm, a.k.a. Thing.
Cook would be a little overstatement.
Okay.
But it was good. It was good.
Okay.
And some things we're going to talk about later. A lot of things were explained.
Yep.
So understand that.
Okay. And that's, stay tuned.
Right.
And number 5, last but not least, Pedro. I'm in every motherfucking movie or TV franchise humanly possible. Pascal as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. Did he cook?
No.
Damn.
No.
All right. I'm going to disagree with the last one too. I think he did. So, all right, let's talk through this a little bit.
Yep.
As far as looking the part, did Joseph Quinn look the part? Like on a scale from 1 to 10, how much did he look the part?
I mean, when he was in form, I would say 10.
Okay, that was awesome.
But not
as Johnny.
Yeah,
what,
I would
5?
say 5.
Okay. Julia Gardner as Galactus. I'm as Galactus. Cut that out again. Don't fucking make me miss these guys. Julia Gardner as Shalabal, Silver Surfer.
10 and 10.
10.
Yeah.
Dude, remember all these people? The CGI looks bad.
Right.
That shit looked amazing.
Yeah,
dude.
It did.
Like the part where they're up, and this ain't really a spoiler. You saw this in the trailer, but Johnny's chasing her out in the space.
Yep.
And then you see his reflection in her face.
Yep.
Like that's just a cool ass shot.
Right.
And then her power, like how she moves through, they got that shit down right.
Absolutely right. I mean, so the way she actually surfed the cosmos.
Yes.
Which was a very cool scene. They just blew that part is like one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah.
They showed her. Silver Surfer is a correct statement the way they presented her.
Absolutely.
They did an excellent job.
And the way in that speech when she shows up, like, dude, that really set the tone for how high the stakes were. And I was watching a little bit of the premiere, and Julia Gardner said that the first day of shooting, they filmed that. Literally, like, come on in, hang you up from this harness, and give this badass speech like day one. It's a lot of pressure.
Wow.
And she knocked that shit out of the park, dude.
Nice.
All right, so Thing. What'd you think about Thing?
I didn't like the voice.
Really?
The voice was a little off.
Okay.
Because Thing is a brawler.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at like older movies or whatever, big brawler guys, they probably do have those kind of voices, the kind of tiny voice. But I was expecting a different voice. However, the look, the performance, I think it was right up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the look, dude. I would say sometimes when he was on screen, the body, I mean, you could tell it's all CGI. Looked a little off at times. And I don't know that we need to be complete CGI snobs. Like, remember 15 years ago how bad the CGI was?
Yep.
So the people are now like, oh, the baby, the CGI. Okay, dude, relax. Like, it was the movie good? Like, it is. I mean, I was watching Mortal Kombat, the first one, recently, and there's this, where Scorpion puts his hand up and this thing pops out of his hand.
Right.
Dude, it looks ridiculous. And that was like, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
So, it's not going to be perfect, but the detail with the rock and the movement and all that, dude, it had a really cool look to it.
Yeah. The beard was, the way they pulled the beard off, that was interesting. It was cool.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, when I first saw that in the trailer, I was like, oh, man, they're going to make him look ridiculous.
Right.
But it made sense.
Yep.
And it did look kind of cool.
Yeah. I thought Jonah was fucking with him. I thought he was going to come back at some point because he was like, really?
Yeah.
I thought he was just going to come back at some point in the movie even.
Right.
And just shit on him. But he did.
Their dynamic was fun, though. Because that's always like a highlight of the Fantastic Four, those two going back and forth. I think sometimes, like, even in the older movies, maybe there was too much of it. Like, it's like, all right, guys, relax. It's like your kids. Like, dude, stop. Leave them alone.
Right.
But I think they did enough of it in here where it's like a brotherly love, right? Like, you could tell they got each other's back, but Johnny's going to fuck with them.
Right. Well, it wasn't just Johnny and Ben. Remember when Sue came in the room and threw something at him?
Yes.
So it's like, that's Johnny and people, that's how people interact with him to a degree. You know? They do hold him accountable for shit, and he is accountable, which he pulled some shit out of his ass.
He did. Yeah, I can't wait till we get into it. There's a lot of like, just a lot of good shit in this movie, honestly. And last but not least, Pedro Pascal again, who's every franchise. He's in there, dude. He's from Game of Thrones, Last of Us, here, Corona commercial. You can't even get a beer without seeing this motherfucker.
Right.
But he did not look the part at all.
At all.
Now, my opinion on his portrayal, dude, it was peak. I'm not going to lie. I felt like it was Reed Richards from the comics.
No.
You did not?
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't feel that at all. Now, his performance as Reed was good.
Okay.
But I didn't feel like he was Reed.
All right. What do you think he was lacking? Like, what did you not see that you wish you would have with him?
First of all, Reed is taller, thinner.
Okay, so the look.
So the look. It's mostly the look.
Got it.
Actually, it's all the look.
Okay.
Because, him going around as Mr. Fantastic, the CGI on the stretching, that was pretty cool.
It was.
Especially when Galactus was fucking with him.
Oh, my God.
We'll get into that later.
Scene, holy shit.
that was funny. But it's really the look. I mean, it's some things I will accept.
Yeah.
Reed, Pascal, not it. But we're probably going to be stuck with him, so I'll get over it.
Okay. Yeah, I did, the look was distracting. Of all of these characters, like the Joseph Quinn, I mean, Johnny, yes, no, I could deal with that. I think Vanessa Kirby, as much as in the trailer, it didn't really make sense, but seeing her on screen, I'm like, dude, to me, she looked like Sue. To me, she embodied Sue. And then Pedro was just the big distraction, like the look. Right. His family, because I just see his face. But even like his voice was different. He did a good job of changing everything he could because he can't change his fucking face. Sure. But I did think he did a good job of bringing Reed's personality and characteristics to life. That's what I think he excelled at. All right, honorable mention: the CGI baby Franklin Richards. How did he cook? As much as it, no, he didn't.
No, and I'm not saying that it was shit either.
Yeah,
it was convincing enough that I didn't remember. I said like a week ago, a couple weeks ago, if I look at something and it's not distracting, then I'm good with it.
Okay.
So in the Franklin baby was just that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were a couple scenes where you could tell it was CGI. Now, obviously, in not every scene, a lot of scenes it was the real baby. But, like, I mean, you're not going to train a baby to, hey, go crawl over there, jump on her, do that. Right. Like, so some things you just got to be willing to accept. Everybody calm the fuck down,
The baby in Twilight was fake too. Nobody complained about that shit.
Oh, I guess the internet wasn't as big back then. They rewatch it, they will. They'll start complaining about it now. So, Ralph Ineson as Galactus.
He cooked.
He cooked the shit out of it. And what was cool is they used a practical suit too. So it wasn't just like a CGI effect. Like, yes, he was enlarged, obviously, but they built that suit and he wore it and they filmed motion capture for his scenes. So
Nice.
yeah, and I can't wait to talk about it because that one of the critiques online was, Galactus was too weak. Like, you weren't paying attention. You weren't paying attention, dude. There's a reason. It's kind of like a Superman. He got his ass kicked. Yeah, no shit. He was at 83%.
Right.
He had kryptonite fucking poisoning, and he's fighting a psycho version of himself.
Yep.
He ain't weak. He just finally met someone that can,
Right.
But anyways, Herbie, dude, what you think about Herbie? Did Herbie cook?
Herbie cooked.
Yeah,
Herbie was cool.
It was cool.
The Fantastic Car cooked too.
Oh man,
that was the second favorite part of it.
Really?
Yeah, the Fantastic Car was cool.
Because you were on the fence about it, because the first time we saw it, it was just on the ground. And you're like, fuck, car ain't flying.
That's right.
But that was cool as shit.
Yeah.
All right, well, that is Did They Cook? You guys let us know. Did you agree with us? Did you not? Don't get too upset. It's all fun and games, right? Speaking of fun and games, we had a game here called What the Fuck Rotten Tomatoes, right? So it's hard to play it with this game because I got the scores, or with this movie, I have the scores right now as of today. Fantastic Four First Steps, from a critic standpoint, is at 88%. The audience is at 93. So, I mean, within 5 points of each other. Now, so we're not going to play What the Fuck Rotten Tomatoes with this, but I'm just going to ask you, do you think that's a fair score? Somewhere in there, 88, 93?
I think that's fair.
What would you give this movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
8, 7.
Okay.
Right around 9.
Yeah. I said 9 last night. Actually, I met one of our followers I was at the Providence Place Mall last night. Dude, just hanging out. And one of the security guards. So shout out to my man, security guard, holding it down at the mall. But he asked me, what'd you score this movie? I said 9. And I think now that was before I saw it for the second time in IMAX, by the way, which you know me, I'm not crazy about IMAX because unless you sit all the way in the back, it's not perfect. Like we would sit probably a little too close, but seeing Galactus in IMAX was just ridiculous.
Was
dude. Yeah, it was worth the price of admission, Adrian, which was, I think, $1,400 for like 6 people. It's just crazy, dude. I don't know what costs more, like the damage they did in New York City in this movie or like half a day at the Providence Place Mall with my kids. It's about an equal amount of damage, bro.
Dude, I mean, just walking through, I stay out of certain shit just because I know what's gonna happen. It's like my credit card starts crying in my back pocket. It's like it's ridiculous.
Yep.
And then you top it off with a movie.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
It. That's it.
But you know what? Everyone enjoyed the movie, so it was worth the price of admission. But yeah, I think I would give it like literally an 8.99. It's up there, dude. It's up there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to look back at some of the past attempts because you said this earlier, and Adrian, I couldn't agree more. This one movie is better than all 3 Fantastic Four movies combined. So we're gonna work our way from the very first one. This is Fantastic Four. This is we had Julian McMahon's Doom, who actually passed away recently. We had Jessica Alba as Sue Storm, Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. This movie, critics gave this movie a 28%.
Damn.
Or the critic score, 28, and the audience was 45%. Which one do you think is more applicable?
The critics.
Yeah, unfortunately, right? Yeah. Like this movie was
Which is crazy, but
yeah, I think this movie, I mean, 28, if we're on a scale from 1 to 10, that's 2.8.
Yeah.
That's about fair for that movie.
Exactly.
I think the best thing about that movie for me was Chris Evans as Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
He did a great job. Now, they had to look better on some of these.
Yes.
But the acting and the story and the whole plot, it was just a massive disaster.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that version of actors better than this version.
Yeah.
But like you said, the writing,
right?
The story arc, it was just bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they made Doom look like a little bitch, you know. Second one, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. This one, from a critic standpoint, the score is 37%, and the audience score is 51%. So about the same. Well, critics are a little bit higher on this. Who would you go with on here?
Critics.
Yeah, same. I do think this one was slightly better than the first one. As much as Silver Surfer, you know, it wasn't on the level of the Julia Gardner Silver Surfer, but it was cool at the time.
It was.
You know, but then they had that giant fucking fart cloud Galactic. Holy shit, dude. That was bad. And then this atrocity that happened in 2015, Adrian, Fantastic Four. For some reason, Michael B. Jordan is playing Johnny Storm, and then just some random ass white chick is his foster adopted stepsister, something like unnecessary, shit added to the plot. I think the one thing I liked about this movie was how Thing looked. They did a good job of breaking that. Outside of that, everything. I mean, the Doom was ridiculous in this. Holy shit. All right, so the critic score for this, Adrian, is 9%.
Wow.
So those of you that don't know, or didn't see our episode when I broke down these scores, the way that score is comprised is Rotten Tomatoes. Someone at Rotten Tomatoes sources reviews. So they look at other critics' reviews. They collected a bunch of them. This one is based on 259 reviews. And of those 259 reviews, only 9% of them were positive reviews. So that means everyone collectively took a giant shat on this movie, Adrian. Not even a post-shower shat. This is just like top of the morning shat.
Right.
And the audience gave this an 18%. What would you say?
Damn. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No, they're both low enough.
They're both shit,
But I think the 9% is more accurate.
Yeah, it was. I go with the audience.
Okay, you're getting better out.
The movie was successfully made. I give it 18 for that.
That's like, you got 10 points for spelling your name right on the paper type shit.
Exactly.
Got it, yeah. But that one was, and dude, that's on 100,000 plus ratings, the audience score. So this ain't like a bunch of, review bombers or a few bad eggs, Adrian. This is everyone.
Damn.
Yeah, it was bad. It was fucking bad. But they should do the same thing with that movie like I said about Man of Steel. If someone tries to watch that, go click on it. It should just divert you to Fantastic Four First Steps. You shouldn't be allowed to watch it.
Well, I guess the good thing about that is, and I can't say all the actors have redeemed themselves. Ian McGruff, I mean, he's fallen into the ether.
Yeah, where's he been?
I have no idea. The guy that played the Thing, whatever. All these characters. I think out of all the characters across all the first three movies, what's his face is the only one that's kind of redeemed himself. Michael B. Jordan.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Chris Evans obviously went on to play
Chris
Cap.
Evans, yeah.
But I also think he didn't do a bad job. Like,
No.
He
was the better out of the casting.
Yep.
In the first two, him and what's her face?
Alba.
Jessica Alba. Yeah.
Got it. All right, we're gonna play another game, Adrian. It's gonna be a little prequel to Agree to Disagree, but it's gonna be just based on the characters in these movies. So I'm gonna tell you my opinion of who got it better, and you just let me know if you agree or disagree. Okay.
All right.
So I believe that Chris Evans was a better Johnny Storm than Joseph Quinn.
Agree.
Julia Gardner was a better Silver Surfer than whoever the fuck played him in the other movie.
I agree.
Vanessa Kirby was a better Sue Storm than Jessica Alba.
I agree.
Okay. And this is over. So overall, because we're not talking, if we're talking just looks, I get it. But from all right, Eben Moss Bachrach was a better Thing than, what was my man's name? Michael Chiklis.
Yes. Agree.
Pedro Pascal so far is the best Reed Richards we've had.
Agree.
Okay. And this Galactus was better than that fucking ridiculous cloud we all saw in Rise of Silver Surfer.
Definitely agree.
Yes. So will you guys let us know if you agree with us or not? And if you don't, then you're fucking wrong, and that's okay.
Right.
But you can live your life being wrong because but you wouldn't be one of us. That's the problem with that. So, all right, some news about Fantastic Four before we get into our deep dive. So, Fantastic Four dropped this past week. We talked about Superman's numbers did pretty well domestically, didn't do so well internationally, which, whatever.
Because he's an American god.
There you go. Yeah. So this movie, though, Fantastic Four, seems to be doing a little bit better than Superman. It's a little bit ahead of schedule, Adrian. They're eyeing a $230 million global launch. So pretty solid numbers. I mean,
what was Superman's? What is like?
It was about 220 or something like that.
Oh,
yeah. So not much more, but another 10 million. And it's kind of spread up between domestic and internationally. Now, a lot of people do believe that at the end of the day, Fantastic Four will do better internationally than Superman. But had to do great first few days. So domestically, they're thinking that it's going to end up somewhere between 125 and 130. And probably by the time you're watching this, I bet the final numbers are out. And then internationally looks to be over 100, maybe even 105 million. So solid box office performance. You know, I also think too, we got to understand that since COVID, the numbers have not been what they were, right? Like, it's not doing $1 billion, it's a failure. Not anymore, dude.
Yep.
There, believe it or not, there's still people that don't leave their house. There's still people that aren't going out. They'll wait until this shit hits, you know, streaming or whatever. But not a bad performance for this movie. Now, Superman right now is at it eclipsed 400 million worldwide. So that thing it's doing all right. We talked last week. It's doing well enough for WB to greenlight this whole thing.
Right.
But it looks like they may come close to breaking even or making a profit back. And I also think that's what, you know, we get a little lost in that too. It's not all about making your entire profit back in the box office anymore.
Right.
You have streaming, you have merch, you have all the, and you're building a cinematic universe. So
correct.
You got to invest. It's like building a business. You ain't going to make money your first year most of the time.
Right. Or first three.
First three. Shit, I know. Shit, we're only 2 years into this. Someone's going to pay us at some point. You think? Maybe?
They probably just keep stealing from us.
yeah, there's that. So anyways, next piece of news. Fantastic Four First Steps star Vanessa Kirby is talking about Sue Storm. Now, we're not going to get into any spoilers yet, but did you feel any of Sue's dark side come out in this movie at all?
No.
You didn't?
However, I was pleasantly surprised how they portrayed her power set.
Yes.
It's about fucking
absolutely
time, dude.
And dude, we said probably a month or two ago that Sue would solo the rest of the Fantastic Four.
Absolutely.
And after watching this movie, we were right.
Yep.
We were right. Now, not that she's so, but if you saw her power set, I mean, again, we're getting to spoilers later, but I agree. They did her justice, and you got to see how truly powerful she really is.
Right.
But so she talked about Malice. So those of you that play Marvel Rivals, you know me, I'm a big Malice guy, right? The Mistress of Hate. Now, Malice first appeared in Fantastic Four 280 during an encounter with Psycho Man. You know Psycho Man?
Yeah, he brings it out of you.
He does. So basically what he did was he inverted the feelings within her mind and switched her love to hate. Okay, switched it all around. Now, if you know Sue, she's a loving individual, right? She loves her family. So imagine someone who loves that hard, dude, switching around to hate, you get Malice.
Right.
And she had mentioned that she would love to explore that dark side and bring Malice to the MCU at some point. So that'd be interesting to see.
It would be.
So
it's like there's like this dark side in all these actors and actresses.
Yeah.
They want to do shit like that.
Absolutely.
They're just looking for the right opportunity.
Absolutely. And that one would make sense, you know? So The Boys, Adrian, 4 seasons in. Have you seen all 4?
No.
You haven't watched the last one?
No.
It was good. I think it's one of these shows where, thank God, the next season's the last season. Like, dude, I love the show.
Sure.
But sometimes they go on too much, right? There was a spinoff.
Walking Dead.
Thank God I never watched that.
Dude, not only is The Walking Dead in season like 17, there's like 2 or 3 spinoffs.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude.
Well, speaking of spinoffs, do you remember a spinoff called Gen V?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Like 2 or 3 episodes.
Same.
And I can't even turn. I see it. I just brush right by.
Yeah. I didn't finish it. So this piece of news is probably not going to get you excited, Adrian. Gen V season 2 arrives September 17th.
Don't care.
No interest. The Boys season 5 will be released at some point next year. So I do enjoy The Boys. I would say the last season definitely wasn't my favorite. I think my favorite season's either the first one or I think it was the third one when they introduced Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
That whole dynamic with him and Homelander, that was fun.
Yeah.
But the last season was just like...
I'm your father.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
But those of you that love the Gen V spinoff, all 12 of you, it's dropping September 17th. So there you go. Speaking of shows that are dropping, Peacemaker season 2 drops in about a month, a little less. James Gunn has confirmed that the Peacemaker is set in the DCU now, and it takes place 1 month after the events of Superman. So this is now James Gunn wrote and directed the first season of Peacemaker, and that was before the DCU. So that obviously took place in the DCEU. But if there was a recent trailer where they talk about going to another dimension, so somehow Peacemaker and I think Vigilante, those two will end up in the DCU. So I'd be interested. I mean, we obviously saw his cameo in Superman, so he's already there. Who knows how the hell they got there? But I think that's a good thing.
Sure,
it's probably the one redeeming piece of the DCU was the Peacemaker.
Yeah,
because the rest of it was just a giant fucking toilet bowl of shit, dude. Holy fuck, unbelievable. So hey, when we see that in a few another positive from James Gunn. It's funny how the tables turn.
Right.
He was a guy that he had the claws coming out for a while,
right?
Adrian, but he's turned the tide because he watches us and he just wants to make us happy.
You think?
It's a possibility, right?
Sure.
I mean, I have no way to know who everyone is that's watching us, right?
Oh, we know. Because we see the responses out there.
Okay. Maybe he's just not commenting,
That's it.
Another thing he said that he got from us here was, I don't need to see, so he's talking about origin stories. And I think that was, let me pause on that. I think that for me was one of my favorite pieces of the whole Superman movie was just getting dropped into a movie, not having to see his dad and all the Kryptons blowing up for 2 hours, and we're gonna save our son and send them, and then the Clark's raised. Like, we get it, we know. Or the whole Martha. We don't need another Martha moment. So James Gunn agrees. He said this recently. I don't need to see pearls in a back alley when Batman's parents are killed. I don't need to see the radioactive spider biting Spider-Man. I don't need to see baby cow coming from Krypton in a baby rocket. We've watched that a million times with characters who don't have their upbringing explained. Or we've watched a million movies, I've said this shit, with characters who don't have their upbringing explained. So basically, why do we need to do it for comic characters?
Right.
It's the same shit.
Yep.
We don't need to. I mean, you like The Matrix, for example, one of your favorite movies, right?
Yep.
They give an origin story of Neo before we introduce him?
Before you No.
He just movie starts, he's there.
That's it.
Right? Like the Titanic, okay? Leonardo DiCaprio's is there an origin story? He just shows up to the fucking boat.
Yeah.
We don't need to see everything. So now I will say that my man James got this from us, obviously, Adrian, like everybody else. So, but at least, it's one thing to hear it from us, but to put it into play, I give him some credit for that.
Right. And the thing about, there was kind of an origin with Superman, but it was part of the movie.
Yes.
And when I say part of the movie, it tied up nicely at the end when he's, recovering and they play his Earth parents.
Correct.
So that's the tie-in there.
Right.
That makes sense.
Absolutely. We don't need to see baby being right. Like 100%. Especially on characters like, dude, how many Superman movies are there? How many Batman movies? Like how many times, even Spider-Man, y'all have done 3 different Spider-Man trilogies already. Thank God we didn't get the whole origin. I don't need to see how Tom Holland got bit by the spider.
Right.
Who cares? He's got the power now. No one gives a shit. Fuck,
Exactly.
Anyways. All right, on to Kevin Feige. This fella, he is the I don't even know what his title is, but he's the guy in charge at Marvel Studios. Okay. He's executive producer on all of these MCU movies. Big comic book fan. And this is one of those points that I've made here in the past. Like when it comes to directors, actors is one thing, but when it comes to writers, directors, executive producers for comic book movies, I believe that they should be fans of comics, right? It'd be like if we were doing this show and we weren't fans of comics, it'd probably be a little weird.
We're sitting there reading, and Superman got on a spaceship as a baby.
Yeah, right. Shit, that's cool. I never knew that, Not that, now we're not experts, Adrian.
No.
We're only fans.
No,
we're just fans.
There we go.
But Kevin Feige is a big fan. He's also just fans. Well, not really, because he's in charge of making all his content. But anyways, he did this press conference, and because we weren't invited, I had to scour the internet, Adrian, to find all these points here.
Wow.
But so here's I picked out some of my favorite segments, or at least whatever I could fucking find, honestly. He had he was talking about the amount of content that Marvel has produced in the past few years. Well, let me ask you this. Do you believe they got to this point where they were making too much content?
No.
You don't?
No such thing.
Okay. So some people felt that way with the shows, that there was just too much stuff coming out. And now, do you think it was coming out too fast?
I think the vision behind some of it was incorrectly adapted and or directed, and that created some nonsense.
Okay.
But there's no such thing as too much comic content.
Do you think that requiring them to make a certain amount that maybe is beyond their capacity could screw up the quality? Like you try to rush some shit out?
Absolutely.
So it sounds like that's pretty much what happened. So, and here's the math. So this one, the math is math in here. Between 2007 and 2019, so this is Iron Man to Endgame, Marvel Studios produced 50 hours of content. Okay, so you add all the movies up, 50 hours. Then, in 6 years alone, since Endgame, they have over 100 hours of stories. So double the amount of content in about the same time. So he said that that's too much. And then you include the animation, that then gets it up over 127 hours. So it is a lot of content. Mm-hmm. But here's why. If you remember, when Iron Man came out, there was no Disney Plus, bro.
Right.
Disney Plus came out, closer to the end of Endgame 29. I don't remember exactly when it launched, but Disney Plus saw the success of Marvel, or Disney did. They owned them, obviously. They're launching this online platform, and their expansion led to Marvel Studios creating too much content. Mm-hmm. Like, they were like, give us more stuff, so they were greenlighting everything. And then Kevin Feige kind of said, when you have that much shit being produced at one time, it's hard for someone in his shoes to oversee everything.
Sure.
So maybe he was that quality control or one of those pieces. And then it's like, dude, they want another show, hey, just fucking finish it. You take care of it. So It sounds like that's what happened.
Okay.
Which, I think he just finally admitted what a lot of people believed. He said it was a big company push, and it doesn't take too much to push us to go. People have been asking for Ms. Marvel for years. Now we can do it. So they were able to throw some shit out there that they probably wouldn't have, just to fill some slots.
Sure.
Then you get, okay.
But the other thing about that is that, Marvel was successful with Iron Man, Disney's head perked up,
Mm-hmm.
And so that one event, even though it should have been with Blade, that one event gave them the green light to do other stuff. So now what they did was they just built a machine, right? So they built the assembly line of movie creation.
Right.
So, and as time goes on, if you go from 26, what was it?
07 to 19.
07 to 19,
yep.
Making these movies, while you're over there creating the content, you got a whole nother technical team over here creating the machines that's going to create the content. And those machines, every 2 or 3 years, is doubling, tripling, quadrupling in power and performance and capability.
Right.
So now you got 2019 roll around, you got a shit ton of equipment that can do a shit ton of stuff.
Right.
And I'm sure you got like these little templates, drop this, drop this, drop this, and boom, you got a movie.
Sure.
Now, I think that and I'm not saying that I don't believe in too much content.
Okay.
I think that if some of the movies made more sense, we wouldn't be having this conversation about, too much content. But of course, everything can be great.
Right.
Everything can be, like an Iron Man and Black Panther and for one, and all that other kind of stuff. So they have created a machine to do the very thing that they sought out to do.
Yeah.
And they only going to crank out more, or they're going to have the capability to crank out more. I think what Kevin Feige is saying is, hold on, we're going to pump the brakes, and we're actually going to put out some better quality content.
Exactly.
Even though we can put out more content.
Right. Yeah, I don't look at it like, if I'm in his shoes, I wouldn't look at it as a failure. But obviously the quality dipped when we're putting out. It's like, bro, you go to the buffet or you go to Prime Prime 94.
Yeah.
Prime 94 has a much smaller menu.
Absolutely.
But the shit is better.
Absolutely.
Buffet's got a lot of shit, dude. But you probably don't want to eat 3/4 of it. But they got a lot of options.
Right.
I mean, the menu at Chili's is like 5 pages, bro.
I hate it, dude. That's why when I do go, I eat like pretty much the same shit all the time.
Yep.
And anything buffet, how people call it. I mean, how the fuck you get buffet out of buffet? Anyway, so anything that's buffet, just stay away from it.
Exactly. Yep, 100%. I've been to buffet in years, and I'm trying to keep that streak alive, dude. Because we had them too much as a kid, dude. But yeah, now we do know that recently they've come out and like before this that they're going to slow down their output to about 2 movies a year, 2 shows. Which, listen, if Marvel's doing that, they also were pulling the slack for DC, dude, because their shit sucks. So Marvel's like, yo, we got to put more stuff out because they fucking suck so bad. But if each of them are at that pace where it's a couple movies, a couple shows a year, I think the quality can be good enough. And then, we're not waiting 2 years for some content.
Right. I think if Marvel does a couple plus maybe an animated.
Yeah.
DC do a couple plus an animated.
Yep.
Then you pull out a couple of independents, like the Invincibles or something like that with their independent stuff.
Right.
I think you'll have a pretty solid year of comic book content.
Right.
That would make sense.
We're gonna be eating like Galactus, dude, and we don't even need a Herald, So he also, Kevin, spoke on the Spider-Man movie that's upcoming. So we've heard tons of rumors about this. It's going to be another multiverse. It's going to be a grounded. It's going to be, Daredevil's going to be there. Hulk's going to be there. Punisher's going to be. Who the fuck knows who's going to be there? Right. The Silver Fox might be there. Are you in this movie?
Definitely won't be.
Okay, damn it.
We can't get fucking invited to the previews. Come on, dude.
Maybe if we got those costumes, then we could get.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll try it out next time. But as of today, we're not. But he talked about Spider-Man Brand New Day, which drops about a year from now. Dude, that's the next Marvel movie. So we saw how Fantastic Four ended. Right. We saw the credit scene, the whole deal. And the next time we're going to see anything in this universe is Spider-Man a year from now.
Right.
Long fucking time to wait, dude.
Yep.
I'm about as hungry as Galactus right now.
Right.
But anyways, he did confirm that Spider-Man, Tom Holland, is going to play a proper Spider-Man, and he will deal with street-level crime as opposed to world-ending events in this movie. And he confirmed that John Bernthal's Punisher will appear. No mention of the Hulk. But, dude, proper Spider-Man, street-level, Punisher involved, I'm sold.
Oh, absolutely.
Give me this movie.
Yep.
I as much as No Way Home is a great movie, I love that movie. But my one issue, because you said last week or 2 weeks ago, Tom Holland is like the perfect Spider-Man, essentially, right? Or both, Spider-Man, Peter Parker. But the one thing we've not seen with him yet is a true street-level crime grounded Spider-Man story. There's always that Avengers, that cosmic, there's Tony Stark, there's this, there's that. But him and Punisher knocking around some street-level criminals, I'm down for that.
Right. Do you think what is his name? Bernthal?
Bernthal, I believe, yeah.
Do you think he's going to become oversaturated? Because in the Superman movie, there was a not a prequel, commercial about
him and Tom Holland.
Odysseus or some bullshit. Yeah. So it's like, now he's coming out and everything.
Yep.
So
he's gonna be the next Pedro.
Exactly. Do we get tired of seeing him and shit? Because we also, what's the cat that played the Penguin?
Colin Farrell.
Yep. So he was like that. He was hot like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He was all over the place. And then he just burnt out and went away.
Yep.
He came back and definitely redeemed himself.
Right.
But I
hope not.
I do too, but it's like, we show up to work and do our job because that's our job.
Right.
We can't say, well, it's a little different, but their job is to be an actor and to act in as many movies as they can.
True.
But the dynamic I think is a little different.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying they shouldn't act.
Right.
But you know what? I'm just rambling.
They just shouldn't act in every fucking piece of content that comes across my screen. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that.
I don't think he's not there yet, but I can see what you're saying. Now, also that movie, Odyssey, whatever the fuck it's called, is the next Christopher Nolan movie, and this is the one that they've had some tickets available. It doesn't come out till like next year, and a bunch of shit's already sold out. So there's a big desire to see that. So when you got people like Quentin Tarantino going, if it's not a comic book movie, it doesn't sell. You make a good movie,
Right.
the shit will sell. You're a good director. You garner that much, attention when you announce something, your shit will sell.
Right.
But yeah, I hope not. I mean, but to your point, he's in that movie. We just saw him in Daredevil Born Again a few months ago. He's going to be in the Spider-Man series, or this show. He's also going to be in a Punisher standalone special for
Christmas.
Yeah, a Punisher Christmas special. Yeah, definitely.
He was in The Accountant too.
Yep, he was in that. And then he's going to be back in Daredevil Born Again season 2 as well. Right. So who knows? And another Spider-Man
and another Walking Dead movie.
Is that where he's from originally, right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay. He got killed off in that. So he can do the Punisher, basically.
Makes sense. Miles Morales is another hot topic here. We have seen him solely in the Spider-Verse, right? Yep. As far as movies, animation goes. And there's always been this, not always, but more recently, you hear rumors of, Miles showing up in the MCU. With Secret Wars, it would be an easy fit because in the 2015 version, he's working alongside Peter, right? But Kevin mentioned that right now, bringing Miles Morales into the MCU he said that is nowhere until Sony Pictures, of course, right, completes its animated Miles trilogy with Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse in 2027. So there's probably no shot of him showing up in Secret Wars or anything after that. He said that Feige said, we've been told to stay away. Now, how do you feel about that? Like, would it be an issue if there was a live action Miles while the Spider-Verse is still going on? Or does it make sense to wait until that's over?
Now, Sony should. I will make a deal, right? I would say, listen, give me, if I made this movie, it would cost me $300 million to make, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let you make the movie and give us fucking $400 million and you keep the rest for this one transitional thing. And then after that, you guys can do whatever you're gonna do because they suck at making these fucking comic book movies. Give it up, dude.
Correct.
Cash out, let the big boys that know how to do stuff cook.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing and just get the fuck out the way. But it's kind of like when Pierce Brosnan was going up to be James Bond back in the day, right? And the studios, hung his contract over his head for Remington Steel.
Okay.
I don't know how I just pulled this shit out of my ass, dude.
Fucking wealth of knowledge.
So they held this shit over his head for years, dude. And then finally the contract ran out and then he did his run in James Bond.
Okay.
So it kind of feels like that. Sony just dangling the carrot. Yeah. You can't do shit. You've proven
it.
Morbius, Madam Web.
But in their defense, the only thing they've gotten right is Miles Morales in animation. Right. So they're holding on to that shit, bro.
Yeah.
But do you think it would be an issue if there was a live action Miles at the same time?
No. Not at all. Not at all. Just don't have Sony do it.
Right. But if Miles shows up in the MCU, it's not gonna take anything away from Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Right. Or work with Kevin Feige, right? And let Sony do the animation part. And then when he transitions, go from one universe to the next. When he transitions from the animated universe into the real life universe, let Feige take over.
Let them take over. Oh, so you're saying take the animated one and bring that one?
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
What if it was a variant, right, with the fucking multiverse? This live action one has nothing to do with the Spider-Verse one. Would it be too confusing with two on screen, or around the same time?
No, but I like my idea better.
You like your okay?
That'd be cool though. Like literally, like
that would be.
So like, remember in the first one where all the different universes had different tones and colors and shit like that. It would be it wouldn't be a stretch to have them literally just walk through a live action universe.
Well, we've seen something like this in Doctor Strange when they go through all the different dimensions and they turn into Legos, they turn into this, or maybe I'm mixing up Spider-Man, but I don't know. But they went through different universes.
Like Play-Doh.
Yeah, they turn into
colors.
fucking paint.
Yeah, exactly.
If it can turn into paint, you can go from a cartoon to a real live action. So listen to us, Sony. Cool. But ain't that, dude? We've been told to stay away. Well, I guess if you fucked up, Adrian, if I said make 10 movies and you fucked up 9 of them and got one right, you're probably going to want to hang on to whatever you did for that one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you blame him?
Or, I mean, if you were an adult,
Yeah.
you know, say, hey, we had our run. You know, we had our once very good success. We're going to capitalize on that. We're going to keep that. And you guys take it from now on.
Okay. Is this a fair statement? People lie?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm not saying, when I go to this next piece of what Feige said, I'm not saying he's lying, Adrian. I'm just saying something don't sound right here. Okay.
Oh.
So if you remember back in the day, Johnathan Majors played Kang. He played He Who Remains. He was rumored to be the next Thanos level villain, right? And then he had this crazy chick do some crazy shit. He got caught up. He got caught up with the wrong person. You know, I mean, you got to put some blame on him. You shouldn't have surrounded yourself with this chick, and don't say she's gonna be Coretta Scott King and she's just some crazy white chick. Let's just, you know.
Well, he did not say that, but anyway.
Well, he did say, you're going to be my Coretta.
I thought he said something to the effect of, I need a Coretta.
Okay,
Scott.
okay. All right.
Not you are going to be.
But either way, he probably shouldn't have been around this chick, okay?
That language should not have came out of his mouth with her in her.
100, yes, there you go.
With her in his presence.
Yes. Anyways, we know what happened. He got relieved from his role, right after the accusations, court, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so Feige says that they realized that Kang wasn't big enough for this phase before the Johnathan Majors situation. He said, we had started, even before what had happened to the actor happened, he wouldn't even say his name, we had started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and there was only one character that could be that because he was in the comics for decades and decades. And then because of the Fox acquisition, we finally had it, and it was Doctor Doom. So we started talking about Doctor Doom even before we officially pivoted from Kang. In fact, I had started talking with Robert Downey Jr., about this audacious idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out. It was a long plan that we had to take one of our greatest characters and utilize them, or utilize one of our greatest actors. Okay. Now, before I ask you, is he lying? Let's go through kind of some of the things he says. We started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos.
Bullshit.
Okay. Bullshit. Forget about do they realize it. Do you agree that Kang isn't as big as Thanos?
No, I don't.
Okay. You think Kang could be?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I agree with Feige. I don't think he is. Now, next piece. The one character that could be that level is Doctor Doom. Do you agree with that?
Sure.
Like Doom. Now, Doom is bigger than Kang.
Doom is more popular than Kang.
Okay.
I wouldn't say he's as big as, but of course, big as can be anything.
Yeah.
Like over the years, powers have matured and things like that. People got extra powers.
Sure.
So Kang can be as popular or as big as people want him to be.
Okay. Would you say Doom's more established?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last piece is they had already started talking about Doom with Robert Downey Jr. before they pivoted. Do you believe that?
I don't know.
It's possible. It's possible. Right. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I think two things can be true, right?
Sure.
They could have thought that. They could have thought, Kang's not big enough to carry this, so let's bring in Doctor Doom. But then they could have still had Kang in the background, right? So I think, too, that maybe that's true, but that's not why they moved away from Johnathan Majors. Because you could have kept Majors as Kang, brought Robert Downey Jr. in as Doom.
Sure.
Because in Secret Wars, the first version, they're both there, right?
Yep.
You're going to have other villains. It's not just going to be Doom. So it's kind of like yes and no. I think that I don't think he's lying that they thought that maybe we should bring in Doctor Doom now that we own this character, because they didn't at first. But I think the move away from Majors, like we're talking two different things.
The investment that they made, and you could see it in the Loki, you could see it in Ant-Man, you could see it everywhere. They were going to Kang.
Yes.
They were going to build that character up. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't have a conversation with Robert Downey Jr.
Sure.
But what I think happened was the Doom thing made it convenient to get rid of the major thing.
Correct.
The Kang thing.
Yes. Even if they were going to, let's say the Majors things never happened, and they were thinking about Doom, and they did bring in Robert Downey Jr., they wouldn't have got rid of Johnathan Majors.
No, they could have had a completely different story arc.
Correct.
I mean, they could have had a Doom in Fantastic Four.
Sure.
I mean, that would make perfect sense. I mean, they're going to bring him in anyway.
Yeah.
But he could have been the antagonist the first time out.
Correct.
So I think the Doom thing was just a convenient placement for something that they already had in place.
So I think he's half lying.
I agree.
I think he's half lying. I don't think it's all bullshit because that's a hell of a story to fucking try to make up and shoot. I think I agree with what you're saying. He probably taught. Now the other thing is Kang wasn't originally the main choice. They saw how well he did in Loki and then said, "Hey, let's make Kang the main villain." Right. Correct. So they were still trying some shit out. Right. So I don't think it was like set in stone. But I don't. But
they had pivoted. They had pivoted toward Majors and Kang.
Absolutely, 100%. And then when I'm sure they were still talking to Doom because you're not going to do Secret Wars without Doom if you have the ability to bring him there.
Sure.
It wouldn't make sense. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean that they would have got rid of Kang. You could have had both. So you're half lying, Kevin Feige. But you know what? We'll give you a pass because like we said, everybody's perfect, you know?
Sure.
But here's how you make it right. The actor that you wouldn't even mention, what had happened to the actor, you bring him back as Kang.
Right.
He don't need to be the main star.
They're not going to do that.
They won't. Nope. Fucking assholes. Last thing he said, we reviewed Secret Wars here, probably a year? I don't even know. A year ago, 5 years ago, something like that. Back in the day, Adrian.
Sometime between the time we were born and today.
Yes. So, and I am, Adrian, I'm working on the Big Beautiful Reading Guide. It's big, it's beautiful. Everyone who sees it says it's beautiful. Hey, ask anybody, ask them. But anyways, I'm working on that. And don't just fake news. But it's going to end with Secret Wars. And I even think maybe next week I may have a preview of what that's going to look like. Okay. Secret Wars 2015 is a major reset for the comics, right? Yep. I wouldn't call it a reboot because a lot of the characters remain, but timelines, and now it's one timeline. So Kevin Feige was talking about Secret Wars 2027. He says that we are utilizing that story to round out the stories we've been telling post-Endgame. He said you can look at the Secret Wars comics for where it takes you. It very much sets up the future. He's talking, I think, predominantly about the 2015 version. Endgame was literally about endings. Secret Wars is about beginnings. And he said that be careful with the wording. It's not a reboot. It is a reset for the MCU. He said reboot's a scary word. Reboot can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Reset, singular timeline. We're thinking along those lines. And then he added X-Men is where that will happen. So all this, dude, I'm really looking forward to Secret Wars. I mean, singular timeline, because the multiverse, it's cool, but dude, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Right?
But the funny part about it is that when they first started talking about it, it's like, it's confusing, it's this and that, and then there's so much of it now. It's like, okay, another multiverse movie.
Yep.
But let's go back to the grounded shit.
Yeah, I'm ready. Because that was one thing about this Fantastic Four movie. As much as there was a slight cosmic element to it, it felt more grounded than a lot of the shit we've seen recently to me.
Yeah.
Did you get that vibe?
I did. It's yeah, you're right. It's like a lot of, I never even thought about it.
Yeah.
But it just flowed. The writing was very good.
Yeah.
You know, I was just, stuck on Pascal for some reason.
This is Buckethead. Because, Reed's got like that kind of, rectangle shaped head. Like,
I mean, with all his powers, he could have like made his head slimmer or something.
Dude, I'm glad we didn't get no weird, like in the first one where he sticks his hand through the door or under like, they did do a good job of hiding how fucking weird his powers look. Yeah. Because even in the comics, dude, that shit looks strange sometimes.
Yeah,
but anyways, but I'm liking this, dude. And X-Men, I mean, so resetting a singular timeline, it sounds like, we're going to end up with the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, the X-Men all in the same timeline as it should be.
As it should be.
So, all right, we're going to wrap this up with thumbs up, thumbs down, and then we are going to get into our Fantastic Four reviews. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
Number one, the Fantastic Four is eyeing a $230 million you know what? Scratch that. The Fantastic Four First Steps is eyeing a $230 million global launch in its first week at the box office. I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Fantastic Four First Step star Vanessa Kirby says she would love the opportunity to explore Sue's dark side and bring Malice to the MCU. Give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Just make sure she wears that same costume. No. Gen V Season 2 arrives September 17th, Adrian. I'll give a thumbs down.
Right? Thumbs down.
Fuck that show. James Gunn confirms that Peacemaker is set in the DCU now, and it takes place 1 month after the events of Superman. Give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Kevin Feige's press conference, we're going to go through these real quick. So he says that Tom Holland will play a grounded Spider-Man alongside John Bernthal's Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day next July. Give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Kevin Feige claims that Kang was not big enough, he claims that Marvel realized Kang wasn't big enough before the Johnathan Majors situation. And I give that a thumbs down because I think you're lying. He also says, Kevin Feige says, that the MCU will reset, not reboot, reset after Secret Wars with one singular timeline focusing on the X-Men, and I give that a massive thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Just hopefully they get the X-Men right. Like, I think they got Fantastic Four right. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So if we can get a similar treatment to the X-Men, we would be on to something, dude. Right. So, well, that is thumbs up, thumbs down. Let us know if you agree with us or not. And if you don't ever watch us again because we don't like people that don't agree with us. I'm just kidding. But drop us a like, a comment, talk shit about us if you want. It's all good. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever.
Think about Only Comedy. Do whatever you want to do here.
Yep.
Within reason. All right, Adrian, are you ready to get into Spoiler City?
Let's do it.
Fantastic Four First Steps. So this is a movie that we've been talking about for a while, dude. Mm-hmm. You know what's funny? I was saying to my wife the other day, if you flash back a year, we had Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah. July was the Deadpool and Wolverine. It was their show, dude. They killed the box office. And then this July we had Superman and now Fantastic Four, another big movie.
Yeah.
So it's just what a time to be alive, right? Cool time to be a comic book fan.
Has it been a year already, dude?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. But here's the thing, though. So you had one movie that probably eclipsed these two movies.
Oh, from a box office.
Yeah, from a box office standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, Deadpool Wolverine to like 1.4 or something like whatever it was. And I'm going to, it's funny. Remember that because I'm going to ask you something about that later on and agree to disagree. So, all right. Fantastic Four First Steps. This is, believe it or not, the 37th MCU film.
Wow.
Ain't that some shit, dude?
Wow.
Like, could you even name 37 movies right now? Like,
no.
It's a lot of movies, dude.
Yeah.
Would you put this in the top 10 of MCU movies? Like, your personal opinion. Would it be in your top 10?
If it is, it's hovering 8 or 9.
Okay. Which is still, I mean, out of 37 movies, it's still an accomplishment, right? And I didn't go through this, so this is not planned. But if I'm going my top 10 MCU, I mean, we ranked some of them recently. I think we had, Infinity War, Civil War, Winter Soldier. You would say all those are better than Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yep. Captain America.
Iron Man. You got No Way Home up there.
Yeah.
Guardians.
Yeah.
1 and 3 maybe.
Yeah.
I think I would say yes, top 10, but I agree it'd probably be like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Which still doesn't, I mean, it's still great. But we're talking some amazing movies. Dude. We're talking the cream of the crop, as they say. I don't know why they say that. The cream of the crop, I'm not a farmer. You ever done any farming?
Well, cream bubbles up to the top.
Yeah.
So it's the top of everything else.
But is there cream in your crops?
All right. Dude, we can go down so many rabbit holes with that. I don't even want to. Let's continue.
Hey, if anyone out there understands that, let us know. Because now it's going to keep me up at night, Adrian. All right. So, Fantastic Four. I said earlier about a 8.8-ish. Maybe I'd give this 8.9. Let's start with the bad, Adrian. Mm-hmm. What did you not like about this movie?
The casting overwhelmingly.
Okay.
Not that the casting was bad overwhelmingly, but if I'm going to choose something bad about the movie, that part was overwhelming over all the other stuff.
Got it. Outside of that, any ish, like anything about the movie itself where, I mean, was the math in the whole time? Was there anything that you're like, that don't make sense?
I mean, outside of, you have a fucking aluminum foil chick surfing a board across a black hole. I mean, you can't really look at the math. But nothing stood out to me as like, that looks fucked up.
Okay.
Or, there was no squirrel moments. There was no Martha moments. No, I think it was pretty solid. The writing, the directing, the acting, even. And again, I separate the casting from the characters.
Got it. A couple critiques that I've seen online already, because people, they got to be cool, right? What my critique is, one of them was about the amount of action in this movie. Mm-hmm. They said there wasn't enough action. Did you feel that?
No, not at all.
Also, like, do we need to have action every 4 seconds? Like,
what they want Doom to do? Come down and like split the planet, and then Reed has to figure out how to do that and take care of Doom. Galactus at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, bro, if you want that much action, go watch fucking Godzilla or Fast and Furious.
Something.
Like, I mean, come on,
right?
Like, these are not. Like, I don't look at Marvel as action movies. I just look at them as movies.
Sure,
they're drama. Some of them are comedy. And now, what I will say, one of the things that was refreshing about this movie is it felt different. Sure. The setting, the whole absolutely. 60s retro futuristic vibe.
Correct.
Like, how'd you feel about that?
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah. Dude. It looks so much. Once you're immersed in the movie, that looks so much better than the commercials.
That's a good word to bring up, immerse. It was easy to get immersed in this film. Yeah. You ever find yourself sometimes like you're watching a movie and your mind's like telling you that you're watching a movie? Yeah. It's fake. Like I was able to get invested in this.
I even like the part where when they did some flashbacks, they somehow, even though you're looking at a retro throwback movie, they somehow made the flashbacks look older than the time period that they were portraying. So that was cool.
And they did a great, what was it, maybe 10 minutes of like flash, like not even, like they did a great job of
sprinkling it in.
Yeah. You got to see everybody's powers. You got to see the fight, like the whole Red Ghost and the apes. That was real quick. Even the Mole Man, the way they introduced him. How'd you feel about Mole Man?
He was more attractive once I started seeing the movie than like the clips that we saw before. Yeah, it kind of made more sense. Yeah. Because the whole New York vibe, shirt, the glasses. Right. I'm like, is this guy like a, fucking model or something? Or trying to be? But he was cool.
He was. Cool. I did a good job. Like, because, I mean, I don't know that Mole Man's anyone's favorite character. No. I mean, if Mole Man's your favorite character, let us know, because you're a special kind of person.
Special.
But I think they did a good job of him. Like, they changed him enough to kind of make it okay, because he's kind of nasty looking in the comics, dude.
Yeah.
We had all those alternatives a few weeks ago. I mean, I still like Foxman. I'm just, But I thought they did a good job with him. The score was phenomenal, dude. Like, the music throughout, like, that's something. And Michael Giacchino is the one who was the composer here. He also did, I think, the Spider-Man trilogy. He's done, I want to say he did Rogue One, Star Wars. He's got some good credits under his belt, but I thought he really did a great job. Like, the Fantastic Four had their own little theme that caught on. Every time it would come, my daughter would look at me like it was a feel good, score throughout. And I just think that he nailed it. Let's talk about Silver Surfer. So this was a thing that, when the trailer first dropped, everybody was all upset. They're going woke, Adrian, or adding a girl silver. Can't have a girl surf. A girl can't be powerful. They're all upset. And now we did some digging and realized that Shala Bal is actually Norrin Rad's wife. Correct. Right? And there is a version, because there's a multiverse of comics. Sure. There's a comic line where Shala Bal becomes Silver Surfer over Norrin, and that was the version we saw here. And why I think for me, it made so much sense. Johnny is known as someone who, like you said, likes thrills and likes women, right? We didn't need to spend a bunch of time with him dating girls and all. We saw that with, like, why he was attracted to Silver Surfer was she's a chick.
Right.
So we were able to kind of drive that point home and not have to add a bunch of unnecessary side shit.
Correct.
So I think that it worked, not just because I think Julia Garner did a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what you were talking about earlier, I want to get into the whole surfing through the cosmos was great. Mm-hmm. But I think that it really helped tie that Johnny dynamic to the plot with, like, he's walking that line of he's the immature little brother. But like you said, he also figured some shit out.
Right.
And I think part of it was, it felt like he wants to be accepted by his brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. But Breed he's a genius. Right. Literally the smartest guy in the universe. Mm-hmm. And Johnny's just like a joke to a lot of people, right? So he wanted to be accepted, but he's still Johnny.
Right.
But I thought that it being Shia LaBeouf over Norman Rad really helped drive that point home. And dude, surfing the cosmos. Let's talk about that scene where they're leaving Galactus's planet. Mm-hmm. And they're going through space, and they decide we're just going to go like around this black hole and shit.
Right.
And dude, Silver Surfer is surfing through a black hole. Dude, how awesome was that?
Well, she wasn't surfing through the black hole. They were surfing. She was surfing through a wormhole.
Okay.
Because they were trying to escape her. They were going toward a black hole, which is the alternative. Yeah. Because they couldn't build up speed, and they need to get away from this chick because she had caught him.
Right.
Right. She literally was like phasing through Sue's.
Yes. Oh, right through the stomach. Right. Yeah.
So, but the way that because when you think about the Silver Surfer, you just think about him flying, mm-hmm. right? Not actually surfing.
Right.
And the way they pulled that off was amazing. Dude. Yeah. It was so much better. I think it would have been like one of those moments where your boy, what's his name? Anyway, so
you gotta give me more than that.
Yeah. He was on the fucking cruise with the girl.
Oh, Leo?
Leo.
Okay.
Leo. So he played this guy who made airplanes or whatever.
Oh, the aviator.
Yep.
And Howard Hughes.
Yeah. And I can think of Remington Steele, but I can't think of Howard Hughes. Anyway.
That's why I'm here, dude. You give me a little bit. I got you, bro. Yeah.
But so he was like, go fly these planes. I want to take pictures of it, or movies of the flying the plane. And they go out, and he's like, what's wrong here? What's wrong here? There was no clouds. He was like, you can't tell how fast the fucking planes are going, right? Mm-hmm. Because there are no clouds. So go and shoot this shit again. So I think Norman Rad flying through space, the way you traditionally think about him, would have been like the equivalent of those airplanes without the clouds.
Okay.
Which is why I'm bringing all that shit up. Anyway, but the way they portrayed her surfing through space, surfing through this wormhole, like bouncing off the walls and doing all this other kind of stuff, was just an amazing job. And then when they got into the influence of the black hole, and she's surfing across all this matter and stuff, that was just amazing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they did an amazing job of showing you how powerful Silver Surfer was, like the speed. I think that's something that you don't realize. It's faster than the speed of light, pretty much.
Yep.
And they were doing everything in their power just to keep her at bay. Not even. Right. And one part we talked a little earlier about Sue Storm and Malice, right? I don't think. I mean, she was nowhere near Malice in this movie, but I think one of the areas where we saw a little bit of her dark side, I think it was a couple where it just a little glimpse. Mm-hmm. They're leaving the planet of Galactus. Silver Surfer's chasing them, and she literally she's in the middle of labor, but she tells Johnny, kill her.
Right.
Like, you don't usually hear that from a hero. And then, right, it's always that we don't kill, but dude, no hesitation, kill her. And even he was like taken aback, like, what?
Right.
She's trying to take your nephew, kill her. It's like, yo, that's pretty savage, dude.
Yeah.
And that was cool. They're trying to shoot her, and he whacked her a couple good times. Mm-hmm. And I also, how'd you feel about the humor? I don't think it was overbearing.
No.
It was in the right moments, at least for me.
As a matter of fact, I thought there was less humor than in most movies I've seen recently, even Superman.
Right. And I think when they do it, it's kind of like the quality over quantity, right? If you have less humor, but it's in the right moments from the right characters and it's written well, it lands a lot better.
Absolutely.
Like the whole clobbering time thing.
Dude, what time is it? that was funny.
And it was funny because the payoff was perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're like, all right, is he ever going to fucking say it? But he said it at the only time he needed to say it.
Correct.
The big moment.
I think they kind of fell short of that impact, though.
Okay.
Literally, when Johnny dropped him, I think that whole thing hitting him, I think that impact should have been pretty
more?
much explosive. Yeah.
Okay. There. One of the other complaints I saw was Galactus was so weak, and this is where I think get off your phone and fucking pay attention. First of all, Galactus, he is slow, right? He's big.
Sure.
He ain't gonna be fucking he ain't Usain Bolt in this motherfucker.
Right.
And the Galactus that made it to Earth is hungry.
Right.
Where does Galactus get his power from?
The planets.
The planets. He hadn't eaten a planet in a few months. He's been traveling to and also the timeline. I mean, when Franklin was born to when Galactus showed up, we went through Halloween. We were now in the winter. It's snowing.
Right.
So it's been a handful of months before Galactus has eaten.
Sure.
Of course he's going to be weak. He wasn't full-powered Galactus. Because if he was full-powered Galactus, I don't think the ending would have been what it was.
Correct.
He would have came and wrecked shit.
Correct.
And this is also a tired Galactus. He's been Galactus for a very long time. He obviously wants someone to take his spot. He's tired of fucking running around eating worlds every 2 months and hibernating. So I think it did make sense, at least for me. I didn't look at that as a bad part. Was the math in there? Or?
No, it was good. Also, people got to realize that Galactus actually shrinks as he gets hungrier.
Yeah.
Too. So his statue is a lot different than, I think he can get down to probably like 15 feet or something like that.
Okay.
So he can really shrink depending on how famished.
And he'll weaken as he shrinks, right?
Yes.
And so, I'd have to see it again to really be able to answer this, but I feel like the first time we saw Galactus when they were on his planet versus when he showed up on Earth, I think he was bigger the first time. But he just ate a planet. It would make sense, right?
Sure.
And
that's typically what would have happened.
Yeah.
Right.
So so I'm not fucking out of my mind. That's probably what happened.
So he wasn't like skyscraper tall because he was tall. He was bigger and taller than the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
By a stretch, but not like, the Twin Towers kind of tall.
He was leaning on buildings, though. He's pretty tall. But I think when we first saw him, though, he was massive, dude.
Yeah.
But he was in the middle of a fucking meal,
There you go.
Yo, you go to a seafood boil, bro, mid-meal, bro, this is going to be sticking out more. I'm going to loosen up. I don't wear a belt. I have to loosen up a belt buckle or something, Adrian. So that wasn't distracting to me. The level of action, I think that not everything needs to be action every 4 seconds.
Right.
Then you lose out on the weight of the plot. How did you feel? Because sometimes with these movies, it feels like there's no stakes. Like, no one's going to die. Nothing's going to happen. Who even cares? Like Fast and Furious sometimes, like those movies, like there's no stakes, dude. We know, like if Dom literally just died and came back to life on it because Letty was crying, nothing's ever going to stop this guy.
Right.
Do you feel like they did a good job of building the stakes with the whole Franklin, Galactus, the threat? Like, did it feel like there was something at stake here?
Well, when you see Sue pregnant, because she was at stake the entire movie. Right. So she's, they're trying to get away from Silver Surfer, and she's in labor, but she's got to make the ship invisible for 30 seconds.
Right.
So that alone, and I love the way they crescendoed her power, right?
Yes.
So they showed her, she can make things go invisible. But then, if you think about the math of warping, right? You're in a spaceship, in a wormhole, and you have to fucking make this thing go invisible so you can outrun somebody that literally just had her hand in your gut, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're in labor. You got to give it was cool that way. She just kicked off the pants and shit.
Yes.
But Ben was all up in there and shit, delivering everything. But that was cool.
Yeah.
But then at the end, her baby's at stake, and it's different for men and women. The parenting thing.
Right.
So she's always at stake. So now this cat's trying to take her son. He literally came down to get her son, and now she's got to do all this other kind of shit. And the way she portrayed her power at the end, amazing.
It was awesome. Yeah. I really liked, as much as the Pedro look, if he could have wore a mask or something, just do that next time. But I think they're dynamic on screen. I think they had great chemistry.
Sure.
And they really brought out some of those elements of the comics that are very important to their relationship. The whole Reed being so consumed with this job that he's given himself pretty much, right? Like I love the part where he's like, I'm supposed to do this. She's like, no, you're not. That's just you.
Right.
You're the one, like no one's going, hey, Reed, figure this shit out.
Mm-hmm.
That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
And she even, and do that part where she said something along the lines of like, yeah, you do all these things like, I'm paraphrasing, but basically to try to get better, to help think, but you don't realize that you're actually hurting me.
Right.
Like the family dynamic was awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because that's something that we've not had it's kind of like what we were talking about with the Fantastic Four comic origin last week, that was the first time there was a family in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time in these movies where there's a family team, right? Like we've seen some family dynamics, but not actual husband, wife, child, brother. Like that was different for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they nailed that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it kind of explains why she leaves him 5 times, but
Right.
Yeah,
you see, I mean, you honestly see some of those seeds planted here. So when Namor fucking flaps up in there, dude, you never know. He's got those fish scale Speedos on. She might be going, she might be taking a little ride, Reed.
Hey.
You better relax, dude. And I like that they wasted no time getting into the important stuff. Like, I mean, she took a pregnancy test like the minute the movie started.
Yep.
And I think it set the tone for like, this is going to be a family dynamic. This is going to be some, husband, wife figuring shit out. They just happen to have superpowers, which adds a whole nother level of drama to it. How do you feel about the pacing? I think that would be if I had one critique outside of Pedro Pascal's fucking bucket head, I think it felt like they cut the movie down some. It felt like it moved a little quick at times where I'm like, it feels like maybe we're missing some dialogue. Did you get that vibe at all?
I mean, not really.
Okay.
I mean, it was I think it was good enough.
Yeah.
And nothing really stands out regarding that.
I just felt like it moved fast to where I had to even take a step back and go, wait a minute, like, where are we in the year now? Because I thought it was just Halloween. Now it's snowing. And that's a minor critique. I think to your point, it was because it was done so well, it wasn't as obvious, but I do feel like they skipped ahead a little bit. But maybe that's just this, new generation where, we got people leaving the movies halfway through because they're bored, or they got to go play Roblox or something, or my friend's on Fortnite, I got to leave. I don't know. So maybe they're doing that to kind of cater to that audience. But either way, and we talked about the look, the whole 60s setting, phenomenal. The power sets. I mean, I really think everybody's power set was great. Like Johnny's as Human Torch looked amazing.
Yeah. And we did clear up a couple of things.
Yeah.
Right. Why the fuck is Ben running through building pillars? Right. So we cleared that up because Sue is trying to push him back, which was an awesome scene.
Yep.
I mean, that alone should have satisfied those people that said, well, there wasn't enough action. That scene alone should have satisfied that.
Yep.
But we also saw where Ben was pulling the ship through the water.
Yes.
So he wasn't pulling it through the water. He was already at the bank.
Correct.
So he was literally just walking up the bank now. So
so that made sense. Yeah. So they solved some dilemma or some questions about.
Because I'm like, he's not 50 foot tall.
He's on stilts in the water.
Exactly, because the bottom of the ship is sometimes like 30, 40, 50 feet underwater, right? And what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
Like on Sue's force field, walking through the water? If that's the case, she just pushed the fucking thing.
Absolutely. How'd you feel about the suits?
They looked uncomfortable. They looked clunky to me.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, it was a cool look, but it just looked. It was like Superman's suit. It's like padded.
Got it. Okay. I liked them. I think they're the best.
I liked them.
Yeah.
The colors were cool. It just looked a bit complicated.
Okay. Let's talk about Galactus showing up at Earth. This dude, this whole sequence was awesome. To your point, like, you're not enough action. Dude, just sit back and enjoy this. Like, he's not going to be running down the street, jumping like Hulk and shit.
Right.
But you think about how big of a deal that is. This big ass entity, whatever the fuck he is, lands in the water, gets out, and I love how he's just kind of like taking his time, dude. And you know what he did that I think some of y'all need to do? He touched grass, Adrian. You heard the saying touch grass?
Yes, sir.
I thought that was funny. He gets there, he's looking around. He's
Smell
never been
the
to
roses.
Exactly. He's never been to Earth, right? He's like, shit. So he grabs some trees and some grass, raises it in. He's like, I'm about to eat this motherfucker.
That's right.
But dude, how like insane did that look? Him literally using skyscrapers and buildings to like brace himself.
Right.
Like, dude, I think they did a phenomenal job there.
Yeah. Oh, before we get to that, because I want to talk about that scene, Sue's power.
Yes.
So the mole man, he comes in and he's like, I want him to ask me.
Yeah.
And they're going back and forth. That was funny.
That was
funny.
Yep.
Johnny, don't be mad. I didn't dress you.
Yo, that was great. That was great. Yeah, I actually want to see the mole man show up again for a little cameo like that.
Sure.
But that's also that comes from, I want to say, it's Hickman's run where Sue does have some type of like not a Namor relationship, but has some relationship with the mole man. To where same deal. She is respected in Subterranea.
Right.
He does not like Reed.
Right.
But she's been like that peace broker between the surface people and them.
Well, she's like a worldwide peace broker because she was in certain roles.
Right.
Where she was like
an ambassador.
Dignitary, like an ambassador or something.
Yep. Did you notice the little Doom Easter eggs when they had that first meeting at the Future Foundation? They had all the countries represented.
Latveria, and twice.
Twice, but nobody's sitting there, but they showed it. So Doom, I would assume, obviously existed already in this, so they must have some history there, which they didn't mention. But I thought that was cool. Also, remember there was a rumor that, Sue Storm's the leader in this. I didn't get that vibe.
No, not at all.
I think she, now, they're a married couple, right? So when you're married and a lot of what you do is going to be like based on your wife, right? Like,
sure,
she's gonna have a lot of influence on you.
Leadership, male in a marriage. I think that male leadership is implied, but negotiated.
Yeah. The wife has a lot of influence.
Yes.
Right. And I think we saw that done properly where, Reed is ultimately going to make the end decision, but Sue's going to influence it a lot. Right. And she does bring a lot to the table.
Absolutely.
So I think that it made sense. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, they put, Sue in charge. No, I think that she had enough influence. And when she felt like, she wasn't afraid to speak out and speak her mind when she felt that Reed was reading a little too much.
She was definitely in charge when she was saying, I'm not giving up my baby.
Yes.
She was definitely in charge when they were trying to escape Silver Surfer, and she's like, Johnny, kill this bitch.
Yes.
She was definitely in charge when she was taking down Galactus.
Hell yeah.
So she was in charge a lot about a lot of different things. But over the team, I think is nonsense.
Yeah.
The fact that they even postured that, not the movie, but just people in general.
Those comments. No, I think she, and that is no different, at least from the Fantastic Four comics I've read. I think it made perfect sense.
Right.
That what I've seen there, especially in that Hickman run, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Reed is going to make the ultimate decision, but Sue's like the general on the field, right? He's the commander making the decisions, but she's kind of the one leading the charge when they're out there.
Yep.
Now, and from a power standpoint, it makes sense because Reed's main power is his brain.
Right.
His whole stretching shit ain't gonna do much in battle. Like we saw, he almost get fucking snapped in half. Like
you see the smirk on Galactus' face.
Yes.
And he's like just sitting there doing his bullshit. He's like, what is this bullshit?
That shit looked painful, dude. I felt for, as much as his bucket head annoyed me, I felt for him in that moment.
Notice his head didn't stretch.
No.
When Galactus was pulling his body apart, his head was perfectly square.
He should have grabbed him by his forehead or something.
Right.
Shit. But I think that that dynamic between the public and the Fantastic Four when they wouldn't give up the child.
Right.
I think that was a great element to have in the story, and I think it made a lot of sense, right? Because who in their right mind is I'm gonna give up my kid, even though we're gonna save the Earth? Like, I get that, but that's one of those dilemmas where you see both sides, right?
Right.
Like, if it ain't your kid, you're like, yo, give that shit up. Save the rest of us. But if it is your kid, you're like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Right.
You know?
But so Sue, and I want to cover this before we move on, but Sue's power, right?
Yep.
I'm so happy that they portrayed her power the way they did, right? So you got to think about this. Galactus is a world eater. Obviously he was weak.
Right.
Because I don't think she could have pulled this off otherwise.
Correct.
Now, Galactus weighs about 15, 16, 17 tons.
Okay.
And she's moving this fucking dude, right? Not only is she moving him, but I mean, even against his own resistance.
Right.
He's grabbing buildings, which is when Thing comes in. So that was just an awesome portrayal of power. And I think that's early on for her too, because her power is only increases.
Yeah.
But I was just so happy that they finally showed how awesome her power. It cost her life,
correct.
But
right.
It's still a great portrayal.
And we're gonna get there right now. But real quick before we do, I talked about the Reed and Sue dynamic, but also the Sue and Johnny Storm dynamic was great too. It really felt like a brother and sister.
Correct.
Like when she walks in his room and throws the shit at him and knocks his helmet off, or puts his helmet on, like, it smells in here. Like they had like a playful brother-sister relationship.
Actually, I think the whole family dynamic, even Ben, Ben like the best friend / uncle / fucking baby deliverer.
Correct.
Right. Even all of that stuff just felt. It didn't feel forced. It felt like everybody was exactly what they was, but they made that whole dynamic work.
And I like that you were saying this the other day when we were talking about it, where we get to see Thing and he's not just moping around the whole time. Like, now this is 4 years after he got his power, so he probably went through that. But I feel like every time he's been on screen or anywhere, we always have to deal with the, oh, poor me, for, 2 hours of the movie. You still kind of saw some of that with like his hesitance to talk to the girl because like, dude, I'm this fucking rock thing. Like,
but he still went after.
He still went after. Yeah. Yep. So I think it was implied, but it wasn't overbearing, which now you really get to see who Thing is versus him in this kind of like almost depressed state, and again, him and Johnny, I think that dynamic was great. Reed really dismissing Johnny because like, oh, fuck, I want to talk to this guy. Remember, he says like 215 saying it's like, oh, that one, really? But then Johnny redeemed himself, dude.
Right.
He figured out what she was saying. Maybe for other reasons. Maybe he thought,
Oh, absolutely for other reasons. But he was the reason that she was actually on his side.
Correct.
Right. And remember at the end, Johnny was about to go in because Galactus came out of that hole, right?
Yep.
And she showed up, banged him out the way.
Yep.
Went at him full force, though.
Yeah.
One thing, so I like the way we talk about speed sometimes, right? How Superman moves, the Guardian moves, things like that.
Yep.
So when Johnny was following her out into up to the top of space, obviously, he's flaming out. He's holding on to the surfboard. And when she takes off, it was so fleeting. I love the way that looked.
Yeah.
I love this. Sometimes they just don't get speed right.
Correct. Ezra Miller, Flash.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was. And it almost shows you that she was, I guess, holding back. Like, did she want Johnny to catch up to her? Partly, because she could have just dipped.
Right.
It's kind of like Superman. He's holding back. Spider-Man's holding back. So maybe she was just, not wanting him to catch her, but kind of. And then, the speed when she took off was insane. All right, so before we talk about the end of the film, anything else on the rest of the movie that stands out to you?
No, I mean, even Herbie as part of the family dynamic, even that worked.
Correct.
He was doing his own thing. He was protecting the kid. He's the helper around the house.
Yep.
He was just in there, and it felt good. It felt like it made sense. So,
all right, end of the movie. One other point. The bridge. Remember I said the bridge will be in this movie?
Yep.
And it was.
It was.
It was on a whole nother scale.
Yep.
All right, I'm not going to lie. That part to me seemed a little bit crazy. We're going to move the earth.
Nah.
Not crazy?
No. You haven't seen Stargate?
No. Okay.
So what they did was these ships have the capability to warp.
Yeah.
And one of these, so the whole premise is that there's this parasitic race, and what they would do, they use humans as hosts.
Yeah.
And they would, keep them alive for hundreds or thousands of years. Then they had the sarcophagus that could regenerate them and keep them alive, and so on and so forth. They were basically parasites. They would go around stealing other people's shit, their technology, and they put themselves above everybody else. So they are the people, they're the Anunnaki, kind of, right? So they, created, moved people around for their own reasons and so on and so forth. Well, anyway, there was this technology, they could warp these, not them, but they had technology that could allow spaceships to warp to different places, right? So what they did was Samantha Carter. So one of those cats, and they're like all warring. They're named after Egyptian gods, Seth and this and that. And well, one of them put a asteroid on a collision course. If you go back, so they have this agreement that they were going to leave Earth alone. Well, this one god was pissed off, and he was like, "I'm gonna destroy Earth on the down low by hitting it with an asteroid." So he put an asteroid on the path to Earth. Well, Samantha Carter, who's like the genius, she's like the Reed Richards of Stargate, right? She figures out, well, they first sent them to blow it up. That was unsuccessful. Yeah. So what they did was they wrapped the warp field of the spaceship around the asteroid and teleported it. So you got Earth here, right? You got the asteroid coming. They land on the asteroid, and at this point they teleported the entire asteroid through the Earth to the other side. So that's not moving the planet, but you're moving a rather large object. So in my mind, moving a planet is not far-fetched.
Okay. All right.
It was
a little bit, but I accepted it. I accepted it, Adrian. Kind of like I'm telling everyone else needs to accept the CGI baby. I accepted that,
Not quite the same, but understood.
But then Silver Surfer comes in and wrecks that plan. Right. That caught me off guard. I was not expecting her to just show up and because I'm thinking, oh shit, we're about to see this thing fucking move. And my thought was like, well, shit, Galactus will find it, right? Like, obviously. And no, she just came through and wrecked those fucking bridges. Right. And then
the one thing that pissed me off was, he was discovered outside of Mars. And it took him fucking 8 seasons, slow moving ass shit.
I know,
right? It took him 8 seasons. They had time to build all these bridges around the whole planet. He's at that should have been like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, that's the pace. I'm telling you, something with that pacing, dude. But we'll accept it, you know. And then they had the plan, and this is where I think Sue also a little bit of her edge, where they're debating, and I think that Reed knew that Franklin was the answer. We're gonna bait him in. But because of the past conversation they had where she kind of was pissed that he even thought about the possibility of giving up Franklin. Remember that? I'll never do it. But, and that's when he's like, well, it's my job to run these things to my head. Right. She's like, no, fuck, it's not. And I think he didn't want to use Franklin because of that interaction. But Sue's like, it's the only option. Right. And then when she screams no and just disappears, oh shit. You see a little bit of that edge with her. And they used Franklin as the bait to bait in Galactus. So, all right, let's get back to Galactus showing up. He's taking a little dip in the river. He wants to wash off before you can take a shower before you have dinner, getting cleaned up, no post-shower shat.
That scene, that part was kind of ridiculous because really he could have just jumped off onto the fucking ground,
to the street,
instead of in the water, flooded the city,
right?
And then also, why didn't the water go to Subterranea?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Moment's he's got a nice deal down there, dude. Okay. It's nice, safe, and secure. That was funny too. He's like, wipe your feet. I'm just kidding. It's all there. It's all there. And then, dude, him walking through the streets. I love how they built this moment, right? Right. He's walking through and kicking fucking cars like we would kick a pebble. Right. Destroying the buildings as he's walking by. And of course, he's about to step into the bridge and realizes, oh, hell no. And he calls them clever little ants. I like too when they show up at his planet, he's like, I was once small like you. So he gave his whole backstory of like, you know, and they realize that he's been around before the universe even. Right. He's that old. And then we get to the, you know, a big fight, and we're going to wrap and talk about Sue just being the MVP, dude.
Right.
But we got to see everybody get a little bit of shine towards the end. I mean, Johnny, you know, doing his thing. And even the other thing that we were proven wrong about was the whole, is that the ultimate nullifier? What is that thing?
Just a fucking pipe.
Yeah, it was like a piece to a billboard or something. Yep. But and then we even saw, you know, as much as I'm shitting on him for his powers, we saw him use his powers the best he could, read the stretching and try to pry open those little power things in the back of Galactus. So think about that. All of you guys, he was too weak. Well, first of all, he hadn't eaten in months, right? So he's smaller, and then they're attacking him. Johnny's trying to burn the shit out of him.
Right.
And then Reed's opening up these kind of like, you know, attachments on the back that's leaking out some power too. So he was at a weakened state.
Which would be like the equivalent of somebody taking a knife and fucking gutting you.
Correct.
And your shit's running out.
Yep, absolutely. One thing I really liked about what they did with Reed was they brought his paranoia to life, because he's pretty paranoid in the comics, and his decision making. Like, dude, everything's going on. They're in the middle of a fight. He's trying to come up with the plan how to solve something.
Yep.
And he does for the most part, right?
Well, and he does with the fact that he's weighing Sue in his decisions.
Correct.
Because if he didn't have to weigh Sue and Franklin and his family, and he would have made decisions a long time ago. He would have took out Galactus a long time ago.
Absolutely. Which is why, like, he's such an interesting character, because that's a lot of heroes don't have that balance. They don't have family, you know, wife, kids that are especially on their team while they're out there. Like,
exactly. Your freaking wife and your brother-in-law, your best friend over there attacking this eternal, basically, right? This thing older than dirt, and you don't know what's going to happen.
Correct. Yeah, he's not, you know, Cap fighting alongside Iron Man. Like, just some dudes we just met, dude. Like, we didn't grow up together or anything. Like, yeah, we're friends as much as we're more coworkers. But these are, that's your family, your wife. And then, you know, this whole fight, the highlight of it is when Sue just says, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to get this guy. And that was when they came up with the other plan of, let's open the portal and let's push this motherfucker through there. Right. And I think she did a great job, Vanessa Kirby, at, you know, bringing that emotion to life of like being at your limit, you know, using every ounce of your strength to get this giant fucking Celestial, whatever, you know, into this portal. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
It was fantastic, Adrian. you know, I was saving that for a good moment. And
nice
then
pun. Nice pun.
Yeah, that's how we do it here, dude. You know. And then we saw the clobbering time. We finally got clobbering time, which was, and again, I think that was at the perfect moment. They're flying. And when Galactus threw things, think about why we even had that moment. He chucked Thing like, I don't even dude, he's going out into space. How, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Johnny goes out there, grabs him, brings him back, and then you know, throws him right into Galactus. And then we think that, like, Sue, you know, finished them off, but the portal's set on a timer.
Right.
Because, you know, she knocks him into the portal, then she's out. And then this motherfucker starts coming back. You're like, God damn it.
But so two things I'm surprised about. Well, one thing I'm surprised about, and one thing I just want to make people aware of. Things are heavy, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now, you know, Johnny, he doesn't have he obviously has some level of additional strength to pick Thing up and fly him around like that.
Sure.
I mean, dropping him is not that big of a deal. But Thing's a pretty heavy dude.
Yeah.
I want to say 800 or 900 pounds, maybe. So to be flying him around is pretty extraordinary for him to do.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing is that I thought he was going to go supernova on him. I was surprised I didn't see the supernova power out of him.
It might be
because I think he was just going to like slam into him or something.
Yeah.
Because he literally, if he would have went supernova, he could have actually supernova probably wouldn't have did the job. He needed to be pushed into the portal. Supernova would probably just kind of like
cause like a big explosion.
burn everything else around him.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're saving that for Doomsday.
Maybe.
Because that's the other thing. This is also, we saw at the end credits where, Fantastic Four will show up next in Avengers Doomsday. So, and I'm assuming they're going to play a major part of that movie, being that, Doctor Doom we saw, in this post-credit scene. But, and then
how you just gonna walk into people's houses and shit?
That is so fucking Doom-like, though, right? Like, whatever, what's up? Yeah, just playing with their kid and shit.
Exactly.
But then so Johnny, your point, he's realizes that shit. Sue's out. Fucking. Oh wait, let's talk about the reed stretching, dude. That shit looked painful.
It did.
It
did.
That was a good moment,
right?
And
I will say Pedro Pascal pulled that off.
He did.
He made it look painful.
Absolutely. And like you said, Galactus just chuckling.
Right.
Like, dude, this guy, Ralph Fiennes, did a great job of bringing Galactus to life. But then, Johnny, he goes up top and what did he say? Something about tell Franklin Uncle Johnny loves him. Like, basically, I'm going to sacrifice. Like, we got no choice, dude. Like, and Silver. So now I knew that was going to happen. Like, just because, not that I wouldn't read a spoil, but the way the whole Johnny helping her realize, through playing back all these messages and kind of reminding her of who she was and what she's doing, all these other planets. It's one thing to go, hey, Galactus, eat this planet and then bounce, but he was throwing that shit in her face. Like, listen to these people begging for mercy because of you.
Right.
So I'm like, I know she's gonna come and save at the end. And she did. She knocked his ass right out of the way. That was a cool shot.
Yeah.
Now, did she go in the portal with him?
Yep.
She did, right?
Yep.
So what's gonna happen? Is Galactus gonna fucking kill her, or is he depowered enough where she could probably get away?
He will. What he's traditionally done, he's never. I don't think. Maybe one instance did he ever take powers away from a herald.
Okay.
Usually the herald will die some kind of way, but like Norrin Rad, his disappointment was he confined him to Earth. Like he couldn't leave Earth's atmosphere.
Okay.
Basically. I think Firestorm, she died. Terrax, he died or some shit.
Yeah.
But essentially he does not take that power away from him, from what I remember.
Okay.
Now, he will cause some pain, like he did, when she said, I came back and I'm sorry I let him escape or whatever. So I don't know, but she will be in some level of pain. I can tell you that.
Yeah, got it. And then, Sue is dead, right? She's unalived, Adrian.
Unalived.
And then Franklin Richards realives her, right? Is that a thing now? He unalive to realive, like a reboot.
He reanimated her.
He did. He brought her back. And this in the whole time, there's this kind of storyline or this where Reed and Sue don't believe that Franklin has powers because he's done all his tests. And it's so like the arrogance of him too. Like, what are you talking about? I already tested him. There's no way he's got powers. Right. And Galactus like, oh yes, he does, motherfucker. But obviously he does. He crawls back on top of her. And this is like, the CGI baby. You're gonna train like a 6-month-old to be able to climb on this actress and re-alive her? No, it's got to be. Just relax.
I found myself wishing that they would have did something more visible in Franklin to make that transaction happen.
See some power.
Yeah, his eyes glow, or maybe some fucking halo, or maybe some glowing something. Yep. I mean, it was cool.
Yeah,
but I mean, because
I can see that.
And did she come back on her own, or
Now, I have a something that the director confirmed, but we'll wait till post-credit scene. Like you said, Doom shows up, just hanging out at the Baxter Building, fucking around with Franklin, right? And we see Sue about to charge her power and probably trying to knock him across the room. Then it ends. Obviously, that. Well, I guess it's not obvious. Who knows? I'm assuming that is Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, right? Sure. That's the one that's going to lead to Doomsday. And we've already kind of set this idea that Franklin is the ultimate power. Galactus wanted him for some reason.
Right.
I'm assuming it's on Doom's radar now, and he's like, I want his power. And do you think that Franklin is going to play the role of almost a molecule man in this Secret Wars story?
He very possibly can.
Yeah.
I mean, he literally just brought somebody back from the dead.
Right.
I mean, you can do that shit. You can
Just about
probably
anything.
do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, that is our deep dive into Fantastic Four First Steps. I'm going to say after going through this, I'm going to say 8.9 is my final score.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, I brought you up, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that. So despite fucking Buckethead Pasco, who's in
Yeah,
every goddamn
yeah.
movie possible, I think he's going to play T'Challa in the next Black Panther. But he did a good job. Now, all right, that being said, are you interested in, after seeing him play Pedro Pascal in this Fantastic Four?
You mean Pedro Pascal played Reed Richards?
Yeah,
yes,
that too.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, switch that around. So
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
you know what I'm saying. How are you more interested in seeing him across the screen from Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom now?
I'm not more interested in seeing him play Reed Richards. I just won't throw up when I do see
Okay, you're less nauseated by it. Okay.
No, like I said, I mean, none of these cats fit my idea, but who the fuck am I, right?
Sure.
None of these cats fit my idea of who the Fantastic Four characters are.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have a problem seeing them moving forward.
Yeah. And I think that, and this is just my own speculation, if you go back to Infinity War, Endgame, remember when the Guardians of the Galaxy movies came out?
Yeah.
No one knew who the fuck they were,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm sure there's someone, I read every issue and, okay, you're awesome. Your mommy thinks you're awesome. I think you're awesome. Even Adrian thinks you're awesome. But we don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No one cares. Most people didn't read those fucking comics. But they did a good enough job of bringing those characters to life, making you actually care about them. And they're probably another one where they weren't a real family, but they had that dynamic,
Sure.
right? And
then Gamora fucked it up at the end.
Of course she did. But they played a major role in Infinity War and Doomsday because Thanos was first introduced in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
He's Gamora's father. So he's kind of a villain, at least in the MCU, of that group.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of his chase for these Infinity Stones, it led him to the Avengers.
Right.
You're almost going to, it feels like the Fantastic Four is going to play that version, that role of the Guardians in the next Avengers movies.
Sure.
Where they're going to be a major part, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to work alongside the Avengers. Maybe do we see them fight a little bit? Probably. Mm-hmm. And Doom is the reason why they're even going to interact with each other, kind of like how Thanos brought everyone together.
Right.
For all the wrong reasons.
But that's also, so Guardians of the Galaxy is a perfect example of why I say that Kang could have been so much bigger than what he was.
Okay.
Because they literally took somebody, a whole team of people that didn't mean shit to anybody and just blew them up. Yeah. So much so that they ushered in Thanos to be this super villain.
Okay. All right. Last thing on Fantastic Four before we get to the home stretch here. The director, Matt Shakman, he says that Franklin used the power cosmic to bring his mother back to life. You familiar with the power cosmic?
Absolutely. That's what Galactus is built out of.
Yep.
And that's what he bestows upon his heralds.
So it's pretty fucking powerful is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
The way it is described is, let's see, the power cosmic is to wield the power cosmic. This is what Silver Surfer said in the comics. To wield the power cosmic is to be in touch with every other living thing at once. It is to recognize that we aren't alone in the universe. We alone are the universe. We are the cosmos coming to know itself, to love itself. And when you witness that, for even the briefest moments, you will see there is nothing more beautiful. Okay.
Now think about this. Galactus only gives his heralds a flicker of the power cosmic, and that's what Silver Surfer said about that flicker. So imagine what Galactus is looking at.
Yes. The power cosmic is a source of unlimited cosmic energy, primarily wielded by godlike cosmic beings, Galactus and his heralds. Right. So
it's probably something akin to, so in DC, there's a Speed Force.
Okay.
And the Speed Force was only thought of something that Flash uses to go fast, right?
Yeah.
But it's so much more.
That's where he can time travel. And
yes,
shit.
So he taps into the Speed Force. Mm-hmm. So it's like this unlimited source of energy. Like we talk about it in other stuff, where there's these pockets of energy. Mm-hmm. Like people think that there's nothing in nothing space.
Yeah.
But there's actually so much power that a cup of nothing could boil all the water from all the fucking oceans on the planet, kind of a thing. So it's that 0 point energy thing. It's just a different name for it.
Got it. So, I mean, it sounds like if Franklin's wielding the power cosmic at whatever, he can't even hold his head up yet.
Right.
He is going to be the most powerful entity in all of the MCU as he continues to grow.
Right.
Which
so much so that he puts dampeners on himself because his father puts dampeners on him when he's younger.
Correct.
Which also pisses Sue off.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course.
But he puts dampeners on himself when he gets older, and then he releases them once a year.
Once a year on his birthday.
Take a look around.
Yeah.
Is anything going on that needs my attention? Nope. But damper.
Yeah. Because that's the thing is with the power cosmic, it says basically you become all knowing, like you know everything,
omnipotent, omniscient, all powerful,
which is a lot for however old he is when he starts realizing 3-year-old kid to be able to.
Right, you're 4 and you're creating pocket universes in a closet.
Yeah, because you're
not
bored.
only the space and the energy,
right,
but living things inside of this universe. That's insane.
It is. So. All right, let's move on. Let's do a little bit of We Respond here. So we're going to respond to a handful of comments here, predominantly from our interns. Shout out to all the interns. Adrian, you mentioned the Anunnaki earlier.
Yeah.
You know that on other stuff this week, we are deep diving into the Anunnaki, Adrian. Okay. So if you're not a member, if you are not a Legion, you're a member of the Legion of Interns. If you're not an intern yet, it's still time to subscribe. $4.99 a month. You can do it right now, and you get a whole other podcast called Other Stuff where we talk a little bit about comics, but a lot about some other shit, dude. Yep. There's tinfoil hat segments there. I mean, we had a whole Diddy update a few weeks ago. You never know what you're gonna get, dude.
Right,
we got
shit.
Match of the week. We had an awesome one this week. So, all right, let's hop into some comments before we got we got a hidden gem coming up in a few minutes too, dude.
Yeah.
Is the hidden gem Pedro Pascal or no?
It is not.
Damn it. All right, Jay Shot, it says, AWOB, my boys, waited to see Fantastic Four before commenting. I honestly really liked the movie, although it wasn't perfect. I think Pedro portrayed a genius and Reed's personality very well. I agree with that. I was worried they would fuck up Human Torch, but he was awesome. Yep, Galactus and Silver Surfer were amazing, but the ending was a little messy for sure. Really, I liked the ending. I will say the first half of the movie was, dare I say, almost peak, and our boy Doom is about to kidnap Franklin for sure. Yes. Brandon Jones says, had to come back after seeing Fantastic Four. Must say, I think Superman was the better movie. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to find out later how we feel about that. Slapper Wrestling. Guys, I just watched Fantastic Four. Marvel cooked. Yes. Goodbye, horrible taste in my mouth that those past movies left for too long. It does kind of cleanse the palate a little bit. You can forget things like the Eternals and things of that nature when we have this. Johnny and Things Dynamic was perfect. Galactus was magnificent. Yes, he was a fucking menace. Julia Garner stole the show. I agree. Sue was done so good, especially her powers. And I may owe Pedro an apology. No, let's not get crazy. No, even Mole Man wasn't bad. I
agree with that.
Yes. All right, let's see. TNT Spider-Man, he's an intern. AWOB Unks just came from watching. Does that mean we're old when people call us Unks? Damn.
Something like that.
God, all right. Just not trying to have Uncle Ben, though. I'm not sure it was Uncle Ben. Just came from watching Fantastic Four. And first of all, the wormhole sequence. Absolutely fucking cinema, in my opinion.
Right.
I just thought visually it was fantastic. But overall, I thought the movie was great. That wormhole, that shit was. Yeah. It was great. They kept the story short and simple and kept out of anything unnecessary. That's a good perspective. Galactus honestly made me feel uneasy hearing him speak for the first time in IMAX. Pedro is going to take some getting used to. Oh, yeah. I'll admit I was giving home hope, but there were still some scenes that I was just like, about. Overall, I give this one an 8.5. It's solid. Yeah. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. Well, you heard it. If not, rewind. But I say 8.8.
It was 8.9.
It was 8.9. My bad. Don't cut that out too. OG Dirte, what's up, Mike and Adrian? I went to see Fantastic Four. I liked it. My girlfriend enjoyed it more than me. The scene where Galactus was fighting Reed had her screaming. I would give it an 8.5. I think Marvel fans will be happy. Yes, the action scenes were out of the comic book. I would go see it again. And it did feel like a comic book on screen. Yeah. Like, did you get that vibe?
Yeah.
Best Marvel movie I've seen this year. Okay. I got to ask you guys, Kevin Feige blaming the fans for the Marvel's flop, said that everyone wanted the character in the MCU. He did say some shit about that. And his kind of excuse was these characters came from the shows, right? Ms. Marvel and then Rambeau, Monica
Rambeau.
And that everybody remembered Captain Marvel from her movie. It did $1 billion, but then they saw these other two chicks from the show and they're like, we can skip that because we never seen the shows. You think that any of that could be true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
And because I guess this point is not everybody's watching the shows.
Right.
So we had Captain Marvel in the first one and now we got this trio and you're like, who the fuck are these chicks? So maybe. But I don't know. Kevin Feige, dude, I'm half and half on Kevin Feige right now. He's, half pissing me off. I read Marvel Encyclopedia and never heard of that version of Ms. Marvel. When I was reading the comics, Ms. Marvel was Carol Danvers. Yes, she was. And then he says, lastly, they're going to reset the MCU. I think if they're going to reset the MCU, I think they should make Nick Fury white, put everything back as it was. Wonder Man is white, not black. Namor is from Atlantis, not Talokan, AWAB. How do you feel about that?
Agree.
You're keep it
the way it was.
Yep. Okay. Now I do love Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury.
I do. Yeah. But it's a departure from
it. It is.
Maybe in his reset, they reset shit back the way it was. However, Shia LaBeouf did do a nice job as Silver Surfer.
She did.
So I might want to keep one of these.
Okay, keep just her. Yeah, got it. Mark Wing Duck says, AWAB, I'm Welsh, and when I heard Mike butcher Ian Grufford's name, it made me laugh out loud. Well, I just fucking did it again. What am I saying? Is it Eon? I-O-A-N?
know, man.
Well, tell me how to say it, Mark Wing. I tried, bro. I tried. Anyways.
You said it well enough for him to laugh at you for fucking it up.
Exactly. That's what I'm here for. Yes. Yeah, I'm here for your jokes, okay? Maple Grove, great hidden gem as always. I agree, Goldberg should shut the fuck up. Yes, he should. I censored my comments so it wasn't hidden. Actually, we got to check to see if Broman's comments are hidden. Never forgive him for ruining Fiend's moments by beating him. Yes, 2 minutes in the Saudi show. Heading to my bachelor party this weekend in Scotland. Catch y'all next week when I'm back. Yo, congrats. Maple Grove's getting married, Adrian.
Nice.
Damn, he watched Fantastic Four and he wanted to get himself a wife. I don't know if that's true. No, he says they've been together for 7 years. Okay.
Nice.
So, yeah, well, congratulations, Maple Grove. King Hicks says, Only Comics puts a 4 in the chat. Oh, if y'all got your tickets. Yes, we did. We saw them. My bad. Mick Skeeter, another intern, says, another fantastic episode. Can't wait to hear y'all thoughts. Well, you just heard them. To all the ABCs, go touch grass or go pound sand. Yes, either one. Mike and Adrian, keep doing great things, and I'll keep listening every week.
Nice.
We can do that. You keep doing great things.
I think so.
Okay, we'll do it. For you, Mick Skeeter. And last thing, I'm actually excited for DC movies again because Superman was a great setup for movies, for things to evolve correctly like the MCU. Have a great week. Yes. All right, we'll get 2 more here. Captain Canada, AWAB, let's fucking go. Super stoked to watch Fantastic Four. May not see it on release, but hopefully a few days after. We got a busy schedule coming up. Yeah, dude, life gets in the way, dude. A lot of working class men. Remember I said I saw one of our followers. He's working. I saw him working. Wonder Man next. Wonder Man is next, Adrian. Yeah. So we're going to shift gears and see what's going on there. Love the Baxter Building Hidden Gem by Dr. Adrian with a PhD in nerdiness and the unknown. You got 2 PhDs?
Clearly.
Looking forward to the TikTok live. That's coming, dude. I think we're about a week out on that. All right, let's get one more in here. Oh, Sons of Sekhmet says, Larfleeze can use his Orange Lantern powers on these nuts. Remember the guy like, one more week. Is Larfleeze? We'll wait and see. And here it is. Let's get Bro Man Williams. What's up, Mike and Adrian? In my Florida accent, another week, another banger. Yes, LOL, Mike. I believe that anyone whose favorite drink is Dr. Pepper has to be a terrorist, bro. LOL. Wait, I didn't say it was my favorite drink. It's my favorite soda. But I'm not a soda drinker. So, take that and do what you will with it. Also, Goldberg needs to shut the fuck up still because 20 minutes after his retirement match went off air, they played the full speech on their YouTube channel anyway. So he's crying about nothing. See, it's that type shit.
Wow.
Well, they cut me off the feed. They put you on their fucking YouTube channel. They took a space where they could have put another video and they wasted on your old complaining fucking ass.
Damn.
Unbelievable. Also, who do you think is the better actor, The Rock or Batista? Batista, a million. Drax?
I know who he is.
Yeah.
So I just saw a new movie that he just came out with, and what's with him and Chris Evans with the fucking Botox and shit. He's got the duck lips now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just looks crazy.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, better actor.
Yeah, absolutely. Pure Venom says, AWOB, that is all. Yes. And then Sofa King show, he's complaining. 23 minutes in, 6 ad skip. Well, bro, all right. There's this thing called YouTube Premium where you get no ads. You can do that. You can go watch on Spotify if you want. You can go watch on Apple Podcasts. YouTube's going to be some ads if you don't have YouTube Premium. So DJ Super Soldier, AWOB, Goldberg definitely needs, everyone think he needs to shut the fuck up. Yeah. Cena or Rock. I'm going Rock, but only because I've seen him in more. It's kind of like what you said, right? Mike, you definitely have to watch The Marine. They made it into a franchise, but the first one with Cena is a must-watch.
Yep.
I went into Superman with no expectations and really enjoyed it. Fantastic Four, I've been looking forward to it for some time, really hoping it doesn't let us down. Adrian's Hidden Gem this week was a banger as always. Yes, maybe we get the Silver Fox and Unaliver movie before the next Spider-Verse movie. Yeah. And Mike, I'm using ABC every fucking day from here on out. Yes. Bunch of assholes being cunts. They're out there. They are out there. So... and then Slappa also says, Mike comparing Kardashians to Fantastic Four had me spitting my drink out. All right. Let's see. We are going to get into Hidden Gem, Adrian. Who is it this week?
All right. Hey, before I do that,
okay.
My wife brought up something. She was like, you guys should just, I'm surprised you guys don't make your own comics. I'm like, dude, it's like, we already got eight jobs and shit.
Yeah, if we had time.
But it was like, she was like, but the premise could be, you guys are podcasters by day, because I showed her the picture, the awesome pictures that they did, of the rendition of us.
John Bon Von.
Yep. So I showed her that, and she was like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. You guys should do your own comics, and then, fucking save people from their misery, when we're not doing podcasting and shit.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe coming, you never know, Adrian.
You never know.
Dude, who even thought we'd still be doing this 2 years later with all these people watching and shit? Because for 6 months, it was me, you, your wife, and a couple friends watching. That was it. You never know, dude. Someday, Silver Fox and In the Live. We'll start in comics, and then we'll bring it to the big screen.
There we go.
All right. So what you got, dude?
So this week, we're going to go outside the norm.
Okay.
We're going to go outside Marvel. We're going to go outside of DC.
Ooh.
So this is a request. And actually, I forgot about this cat, right? So... this week's hidden gem is Battle Beast.
Ah, okay.
Not laissez-faire, La Freeze, or whatever the fuck.
No, like with such a sec. La Freeze, these nuts, bitch.
So Thok, or better known as Battle Beast.
You say Thought?
Thok.
Okay. Well,
THOKK. Right? So basically, this character is from Invincible.
Okay.
Not the Invincibles, the other family cartoon.
Incredibles.
Oh, was it? Oh, Invincibles, Incredibles.
Same difference. I knew what you meant.
So, this character is from the Invincibles, and he first showed up. So basically, he's this really aggressive, angry character who likes to fight, and so he was once the planetary guardian on his own home planet. However, because he likes to fight so much, he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go out and I want to find people that are worthy, that's worthy of my fighting them.
Okay.
So he basically started like scouring the universe to find other people. So he came in the Invincibles under, let me see if I can find it. Worthy. Machine Head. So he was kind of working as part of a gang with Machine Head in the Invincibles to go up against Mark, who is the son of this cat who's pretty much like Superman. So imagine a whole planet of Supermen, right? And they battle each other to get the Supreme, and then they go out and they take over other galaxies. They're like thousands of years ahead of everybody. They live for thousands of years. But anyway, Battle Beast, he came to Earth to look for a worthy opponent. He did not find it.
Damn.
And so he dipped, and then he started, going around fighting other people and stuff. But he ultimately met his match with the head of this guy is like the Thrag, Thragg, Thrag. He was like the Grand Regent of the Viltrum Empire, which is where Invincible, his father, is from. Okay. So this guy, he was Thrag. He's like the epitome of the Viltrum Empire. He is so strong. So if Superman can do what he does, imagine somebody that can hold his own against like 10 Supermen, right? He's that powerful. So Battle Beast, as he goes around, he's looking for all these opponents and he runs into this cat. And during the fight, this guy, you know, he gets his fucking abdomen ripped open. He's like guts, entrails are coming out. Shit. Battle Beast, he's like, well, I don't want to fight somebody unless it's fair. So he cuts his own stomach open. and this Thrag is like, what the fuck you doing?
Damn.
Right? So he would never have done that himself. So, but that's his way of leveling the playing field. He did too much. Thrag kills him. Oh, right? Shit. So he eventually takes him out. But a very cool character. So he shows up Invincible a couple times. He shows up under Machine Head, and he pretty much almost kills Mark Grayson, right? Mm-hmm. Which is Invincible in the show. Then he beats up a couple of other people. He leaves because they're not worthy enough. But then he shows up in this prison planet. So he's out fucking around, and he gets caught by the Viltrumites, and he's in this prison station. And Mark's father ends up being there, and they kind of like break out, and they go around, do all this other kind of stuff. Mark's father is Omni-Man. Okay. Omni-Man is like the Superman on planet Earth. He was sent there, and I think probably where they got this new Superman idea from, because so the Viltrum Empire, their goal is to go out and take over other planets, and they will send a representative to each planet to kind of like set the stage, get people accustomed to them, and then they like take over. Well, this Omni-Man, so he comes and he marries and has Mark. He marries a human, has Mark, who is half Viltrumite, half Earthling, but he can grow to be as powerful as his father, even though his father almost beats his ass, like severely, like caves his face in, slams into mountains, all this other kind of shit. But anyway, so Battle Beast, he comes in, he's fighting these characters, find them not worthy enough. He goes off, gallivanting around the planet, ends up in this prison, fighting with this other guy to free Omni-Man, who has pretty much left Earth at this point, going around seeing other shit. And they get into this fight, and they're wrecking the space station. Battle Beast gets ejected out into space, and so what ends up happening? He's surviving the coldness, the vacuum of space, and ends up going on fighting Thrag, who eventually kills him.
Damn.
So he's one of those characters where he's real awesome, but not somebody who's gonna be there on his own. He's not gonna be a Omni-Man. He's not gonna be an Invincible. Meaning, he could if he had survived. He could show up and do some things and then go away, which he was great at. I thought it was a great character, but obviously not great enough to stick around. His powers, obviously, he could battle against someone on a Superman level, and I'm doing a comparison.
Okay.
So a Viltrumite is basically a Superman in the Invincible world.
Got it.
And he is someone, Battle Beast is someone who could hold his own against a Viltrumite. Now, this other Viltrumite, Thrag, who is the ultimate Viltrumite, not so much. But basically, he's kind of like a Lobo kind of a personality. Mm-hmm. Go around, gallivanting around, starting fights, looking for fights. And the only thing he wants to do is find somebody that's worthy of a fight. And then he met his match with this Thrag cat. But pretty much Superman level powers. He obviously looks like a lion if you pulled up a picture of him. So he has the strength, the durability, the endurance, can withstand space, the teeth marks, the aggression, all of that kind of shit. So really cool character to see in Invincible. I haven't seen all of his exploits, but I think if they did like a 2 or 3 parter with him in it, I think it would be cool. But anyway, Battle Beast. Too bad he got killed out. There was some weird shit that he did, cut his own shit open to go fight somebody, but that's the way he was.
Hey, he stood for what he believed in.
Yep.
And it cost him his life.
There's that.
Which happens a lot in movies, right?
Yep.
Before we move on to agree to disagree, last week you were talking about Top Gun. Well, you started to.
Yeah.
And then you realized, like a lot of movies, Adrian, I haven't seen Top Gun.
Okay.
Right? But there's people now that are intrigued they want to know where you were going with that analogy. So I was going to ask you, you remember we were talking about Superman?
Yeah.
I was talking about the action, and you said, have you ever seen Top Gun? I said no, and you moved on. And now you got a bunch of people going, what was he going to say?
All right. So when Superman is flying through space, right? The fucking selfie view, whatever, and the way he's moving around, the perspective of him. So in Top Gun, the second one.
Okay.
So the Maverick, he gets basically kicked out of the Navy.
Okay.
But he needs to show these new recruits that the mission that he's been training them for is possible. Right?
Got it.
So he steals a jet, right? And he calls in. It's a real cool scene. He calls in, so he's going to this range, and he's going to show them that he can make it this whole mission within the time allotted. So he goes in, he calls, they set the timer, and these cadets, so he's the instructor of the Top Gun school.
Okay.
And there's other airmen now, Navy airmen, that's going through the school, and his job is to teach them. Not only to teach them, but to teach them to do this one specific mission, which is to go into Russian territory, blow up this uranium mine or some bullshit, and then get out. The thing about it is that they got all these missiles and all this shit around. Then they also have Generation 5 fighter jets, right? And they only have like Gen 3 or something. So he goes in, he starts this mission, they set the timer, and he's going in, and he's whipping this fucking plane around, and it's like a selfie view.
Okay.
And you can see him being thrown around in the cockpit. So that was the comparison.
Okay.
Right.
There you have it. Well, yeah, it makes no sense. I haven't seen it, but for all you asking, there you go. All right. Now, we are going to wrap this show up like we do every single week with agree to disagree. This is where I throw out all the opinions that are right. Adrian disagrees. He's wrong. You guys disagree. You're wrong. I'm right. That's how it works around here.
That's how it works.
Or not. But this is where, this is a teaching moment, Adrian, for all of you people that they get a condition sometimes when someone has an opposing opinion.
Okay.
They get a condition called butthurt. Okay. And we're going to try to effectively teach them that that's unnecessary.
Okay.
We can agree to disagree, which we do every week. So I got some in here that you're probably going to disagree with.
Okay.
So are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's go to our split, Adrian. Let's go to our, nope, other one. There we go. All right. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Look at that background. Yeah, you know what? Hey, let's slide. Look at this, right? Hey, cut that out too. I wanted to make everyone think that we had it in the right spot the whole time. You know?
Absolutely.
All right. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Number one. Now, I know, let me stop for a second. James Gunn doesn't want us to compare things. So the first question or first opinion here is going to be a comparison because I don't give a fuck what anybody wants us to do because we do what the fuck we want here.
That's right.
All right. Number one, Fantastic Four First Steps was better than Superman.
Agree.
Fantastic Four First Steps was better than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Disagree.
Fantastic Four First Steps was better than Black Panther.
2. Agree.
Nope, 1.
Disagree.
Okay. Fantastic Four First Steps is a top 10 MCU film.
Agree.
It's also better than Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Agree.
You know, I have to get that one in there every time. Yes. Julia Gardner absolutely killed it. Unalived it as Shalabal, the Silver Surfer.
No, she killed it.
She did.
She killed it. She cooked.
She did cook. Kevin Feige is lying just a little bit. Just a little bit. They did not plan to move away from Majors as Kang prior to the legal shit.
Agree.
James Gunn is right. He's right about the fact that we don't need to see comic origins for characters like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man on screen ever again.
Agree.
Here, this one is a prediction. Doctor Doom is somehow going to use Franklin Richards' powers to create Battleworld.
Agree.
And last but not least, Only Comics. We are the realest people in this podcast game, Adrian.
Absolutely.
We don't lie. We don't create takes. I got a take. We just sit here and tell you what the fuck is on our mind at the moment.
That's right.
We keep it real.
I agree.
And a lot of people were shocked by that. Someone was like, someone in the comment was like, yeah, I think a lot of people don't get that about you guys. Like they literally, because they get all upset, but we're not saying shit to try to piss you off.
Right.
We're just giving you the truth.
Well, so
our truth.
Here's the thing. We're a couple guys that gravitated toward each other on this comic thing.
Yep.
And decided to put a camera in front of us while we're talking about it.
Correct.
So it's fun.
Yes.
Number one. We ain't got no fucking sponsors. So we don't have to bend the truth or say some shit to please somebody that's feeding us, because nobody feeding us.
Yes.
So there's that. And we just happen to like some other stuff.
Sure.
So we roll this thing into, the tinfoil hat thing.
There you go.
So it's all fun. Mm-hmm. We're going to miss some stuff. We're going to mispronounce some names. We're going to get some shit wrong.
Yes.
While we say fact check every word that comes out of our mouth, right?
Right.
So we just do it because we enjoy it. And that's it.
Like if the cameras weren't here, we would still be bullshitting about comics every
Absolutely.
week. Like I think that's the part that is lost on a lot. It became something that a lot of people do enjoy. People are like, why are people? I've never watched. There's 85,000 people that seem to enjoy us enough to subscribe and watch us.
Right.
So someone does.
Yeah.
But we would do this regardless. Just we probably wouldn't buy all this stuff and sit in this room and do it. But I mean,
we'd probably buy all this shit. It just wouldn't be all in one spot.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to bring my Wolverine claws to come talk to you. Hey, Adrian, talk comics,
exactly.
But that's the thing. We were having these conversations before we started hitting record.
Yep.
So again, I've said this several times. We are not here for your entertainment. We're here for our fucking own.
Absolutely.
But you just happen to be entertained by it too. Great. And if you're not, then why you watch us?
Yep.
Or maybe you're a masochist. You like things that hurt, So anyways.
I like that pain.
Right? Well, Adrian, let's go to our wide shot. Dude, we're back to the wide shot. It's funny how things change here. I was like, fuck the wide shot. But now we got all these new toys. We got some claws here. We got the Tesseract.
Yo,
we got
dude,
the Fantastic
you didn't spotlight your Doom mask behind you.
I know. Should I try it on?
No, test it at home first.
Okay.
Then come in.
It doesn't fit, I tell you that. So that is my feedback about the Marvel Legends Doom helmet. It looks phenomenal. Matter of fact, hey, we're at the end of the show.
Right.
It looks phenomenal. Check this out. It looks great. But does it fit? Now, I do have a larger than life head, Adrian. So my hat size is 7 3/4. So it's not a little peanut head.
Wow.
It's because my big brain.
That's what it is.
But does this fit your head if you wear a 7 3/4 size hat? No, the fuck it doesn't. So it's just going to be a nice little prop here for y'all to look at and enjoy. But I mean, it's pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah, it is a cool prop.
So maybe next week, if I'm feeling froggy, I'll try to squeeze it on for everyone's enjoyment. But again, anyways, Adrian, another fun week here.
Absolutely.
Now, the bad news, though, is we just had Superman and Fantastic Four, and that's it for this year of movies. So we got to wait till, next year. But we got some shows.
We'll come up with other shit.
Oh, we'll come up with tons of it. And I think now we're going to get to really start working through this reading guide. So I'll put some packages together. That's going to come real soon. And what's cool is now that we've seen this, a lot of the reading guide, the beginning of it, are Fantastic Four stories, which will be really cool with Franklin, with Valeria, the whole deal. Do you think we'll see a Valeria in the MCU at some point?
It's possible.
Possible, right?
Yeah.
Oh, last question. Are you wanting now we know the Fantastic Four is going to show up in Doomsday, but after seeing this movie, are you wanting to see a sequel?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I think I would love to see some more Fantastic Four standalone movies. So
they aged Franklin rather quickly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we can get through a lot of stuff with him alone.
Absolutely. So, well, where can you find more of us this week? This Wednesday on Other Stuff, we're doing an Anunnaki deep dive.
Yep.
We're talking about some nostalgic things like lawn darts, right?
those volcanoes that blow up in your face.
Yes, and we got a match of the week that is, let's just say it's a phenomenal time for me. So. And that's one of my favorite parts, Adrian, is you're not a pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
But I get to try to explain what we enjoy about it to someone who doesn't enjoy it. Like,
but the thing about it is I kind of know what you're talking about because I did used to watch the old school wrestling as a kid, right?
Yep. Well, you've been out for
so I have a reference.
You do. Yeah. So that's been one of my.
So it's not entirely foreign to me.
Correct. But that's been, I think, one of my most fun parts of that show is explaining that to someone who doesn't watch it regularly because it makes me really think about it, on another level. So anyways, guys, thanks for, being with us along this journey today. Subscribe if you haven't already and share this with people you like, people you don't like. You want to piss them off,
Exactly.
And don't be an ABC, Adrian. That is an asshole being a cunt. There's enough of them out there. So we can kind of eliminate that would be good. So, all right, we'll see you next week right here on Only Comics.
Peace.